Good afternoon and welcome to Elliott Field on the campus of Fitchburg State University, where today the Falcons of Fitchburg State play host to the Bears of Bridgewater State. It's College Football Saturday here on FATV. I'm John Gugerty, joined by Cam Manette today. Cam, as the Falcons play host to the Bears, we mentioned Fitchburg State. They come in with a record 3-4 on the season, 2-4 in the MASCAC, coming home from a long road trip.
Yeah, John, this long road trip is certainly testing for any program, and the Falcons are, like everyone else, and suffering two really winnable losses. And coming home, you really got to think that going against Bridgewater, this is where they, I'll say, propel themselves into a fantastic end of the season. At least that's their goal, but the Bridgewater Bears, who are coming onto the field now, are not going to let that be done easily. Let me tell you that, John.
Last time we saw Fitchburg State here at Elliott Field was back on Saturday, October the 4th. That game a 22-12 loss to Framingham State. Since then, Cam, Fitchburg State's played 3 games on the road. They won 1, but they lost their last 2.
Yeah, John, that Worcester State victory was one of the most impressive victories this program has seen in quite some time. And what was really unfortunate was they never built any momentum off of that. A very tough defensive battle against Mass Maritime, and their defense played pretty soundly. Even though they relinquished 30 points against Anna Maria, they held Nico Boyce, who's the leading passer in the MASCAC, to just 114 yards. This Falcons program is certainly able to compete with anyone, John.
Last Saturday, October the 25th, a 30-22 defeat at the hands of Anna Maria. Worth mentioning that Fitchburg State was led offensively by Colby Catterton. He played quarterback for Fitchburg State. We expect him to get the start today for the Falcons as well. Catterton, 22 out of 43, 213 yards, a touchdown, and an interception in last week's loss to Anna Maria. We look at the other side against Bridgewater State. They come in with a record also 3-4 on the season. They're 3-3 in the MASCAC. And Cam, they are winners of their last 2 games.
Yeah, John, they fortunately have won their last 2 affairs, and they are a team looking to develop the run game. They have had fringy passing attempts at times, alternating between 2 different gentlemen at quarterback, but we saw last week they were prolific in their run attack against UMass Dartmouth.
35-15 was the final against UMass Dartmouth, but they only threw 10 passes. Joseph Doobie Garrett, 6 of 10 for 60 yards and 2 touchdowns. Andrew Kloutman, 20 carries, 117, and a touchdown for him. Isaiah Wright, 10 carries, 91 yards, and 2 scores. Definitely an explosive offense coming out of the Bears, especially when they get the ball in the hands of Isaiah Wright.
Exactly that. When you have Isaiah Wright averaging over 9 yards per carry, why go away from the run game? And I expect the same exact approach to be developed by Bridgewater. They're going to try and attack the ball through the ground early.
Falcons have won the toss and deferred, so we'll see that Bridgewater State offense. Maybe we'll see Isaiah Wright get a few carries on the opening drive. Falcons are in the gold jerseys today with white pants, green helmets. Bridgewater in the white on white with red helmets and numbers. We see the Falcons will be kicking right to left as we get underway. We want to mention, folks, that if you were expecting perhaps the voice of Dan Bolak to be here with me today, Dan is at historic Crocker Field right this very moment. You can watch Fitchburg High School football. If you're watching us online or on your phone, you can just open up another tab. Go to fatv.org/watch-FATV. That'll have all of the information on how to watch not only us here at Fitchburg State for folks who may be from Bridgewater or know anyone who's in the area might have an interest in this one, but again, you'll be able to hear Dan Bolak and Sean Sweeney call the Fitchburg High School game kickoff, and that one is scheduled for just about the same time as this, actually, a 12 noon kick for both of these games. We're covering both of them live here on FATV.
Sounds like you can get all your FATV fun through us.
You really can. We'll step aside for the national anthem. It is College Football Saturday here on FATV.
Fans, at this time, we ask that you please stand if you are able as we honor the United States of America with the playing of our national anthem.
College Football Saturday here on FATV. I'm John Gugerty, joined by Cam Manette. We're just about ready to get underway. Fitchburg State again playing host to the Bears of Bridgewater State. And just before kickoff, Cam, I want to ask you a little bit about your mentality as a player. You've played your last 3 games on the road, lost the last 2, as you said, winnable games, came up a little bit short. What would your mentality be if you were in that locker room getting ready for your first home game in a while?
Well, truly, the significance behind this game is even more emphasized in light of those 2 losses, in light of the finally returning home. I mean, I feel like we haven't been at Elliott Field for a month now. So with this return home, you really have to look not only to just get it going early, take a lead, get up 7-0. This is what the Falcons are trying to achieve, and really it's going to be paramount for seeing success all day, is getting up early. That's got to be the mindset.
Falcon pass defense, as you mentioned, has been very strong. They held a very talented quarterback from Anna Maria pretty much in check last week. Run defense, not, certainly not soft by any means, but a little bit more vulnerable for Fitchburg State this season. It'll be interesting to see how much the Bears go to the ground game, particularly on a bit of a breezy day here at Elliott Field.
Exactly that, John. I think through these first few plays, and we wonder what their script, a lot of coaches script the first 10 plays out. We wonder how much run is going to be featured.
Hunter Sands really with no lead up whatsoever. He just rears back and boots it. Taken in at about the 25-yard line. Bouncing out, brought down at the 34. Decent field position for the Bears. We'll see their offense come out for the first drive of the game.
Nice tackle on that turn by Rich Santana, who actually returned. He was on the team 2023, took a year off 2024, making an impact early.
Bridgewater State comes out 1st and 10 again at their own 34-yard line. Shotgun. 3 wide receivers, 1 back to the left. Handoff straight up the middle. Was Isaiah Wright the ball carrier? Got across the line of scrimmage, gain of a couple. He's 2nd down and 8 coming up for Bridgewater State.
Something I'm noticing right away, John, is the fact they're going no huddle. They're already up to the ball, looking to the sideline for the call. This is extremely versatile, something Fitchburg must be able to plan for.
Joseph Doobie Garrett from the shotgun. Handoff to Wright again, no play action, under pressure. Steps up, throws over the middle. That pass is low. Almost brought in, very close to a completion, but incomplete. Right around midfield. I believe the intended target was the sophomore receiver Josh Registry. Will be 3rd down and 8. It's a very good play fake, Cam.
It was, and so good. I'm almost surprised they didn't go to the run again there. As we talked about in the preview, they're looking to establish the run game early, but going past on 2nd and 8 puts them in the 3rd and long right now.
3rd down, 8. Bridgewater State needs their own 34-yard line. Doobie Garrett from the shotgun. Good pocket, now under pressure, rolls, sets, no, doesn't like it. He'll take off himself. He's across the 40, got the 1st down into Falcon territory, and he'll duck out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. Really good scrambling there by the freshman quarterback, Joseph Doobie Garrett.
Well, you see, John, had defensive coordinator Coach Sullivan called a pass rush game, but lost contain, and a good heads-up quarterback will make the most out of a situation like that every single time.
Doobie Garrett, not really much of a threat on the ground, just 13 carries for 21 yards on the season. He gets about 14 there. They'll spot the ball right at the midfield stripe, 1st down. Fake the jet sweep. Doobie Garrett will throw. They get it to the man who faked the sweep. Catch is made at the 40-yard line. Brought down at about the 38. That's Mohali Mitchell with the catch, the senior from Lakewood, Colorado. Mitchell came in motion from the slot. They faked a jet sweep to him, and then they hit him basically on a wheel route out of the backfield. It was wide open for a Bridgewater State 1st down. Back to the line come the Bears. Trips receivers to the near side. Doobie Garrett calling signals from the shotgun. Handoff up the middle. Not much initial blocking. Falling forward for a gain of a couple is Andrew Kloutman, senior from Hanson.
Andrew Kloutman, the ball carrier.
We mentioned Kloutman, 20 carries, 117 yards, and a touchdown last week for Bridgewater State. He has 3 scores on the ground thus far this season.
Yeah, and last week, Cloutman averaged almost 6 yards per carry. He's going to be a huge factor that the Falcons need to limit.
2nd down and 9, try to set up the screen to the Bears. Pass falls incomplete at the feet of Mitchell.
Immediate pressure by Cam Kopkin on that one. He comes into this game leading the MASCAC in both tackles per game and total tackles. Unequivocal, huge factor of this Falcons defense for years now.
Cam, you were a defensive lineman. Is there a moment of, hey, I'm going to get to the quarterback, oh no, it's a screen? Does that go off in your head, or is it just get the ball, get the ball, get the ball?
Unfortunately, it becomes get the ball, get the ball, get the ball, because by the time you realize, usually it's too late, I hate to say.
3rd down and 9 coming up for Bridgewater State. Motion man coming to the near side. He'll set up in the slot. Doobie Garrett looks to his right, throws to his right. That pass is high, picked off. Intercepted by the Falcons at their own 25-yard line. Coming up the near side is Jan Vals. He had a pick 6 last week. This time he won't run it back. He's brought down at the 33. Jan Vals forces another turnover.
It only took 2.5 minutes for Jan Vals to get on the interception board again as he celebrates on the sideline. Jan is having an incredible season. We've talked about the interceptions. He also has 2 touchdowns on the year.
Pass was a little bit high, definitely a catchable ball. It went right through the arms of Mohali Mitchell. Jan Vals fortunate that it bounced to him after Mitchell unable to make the catch. And now we'll see Fitchburg State's offense for the first time. They come out indeed being led by the freshman quarterback, Colby Catterton from Shirley, Mass. He'll hand off on 1st down. Anthony Aquendo bounces to the outside, and he is dragged down from behind. To the naked eye, Cam, that looked like a horse collar.
I was just about to say, if anything else, that is an awkward-looking tackle, and I was expecting the horse collar call to be had on this one.
We take another look at this one. I mean, my understanding of the definition of a horse collar is you reach up, you grab the guy by the scruff of the neck, and you yank downward, causing him to fall.
So exactly
And that's exactly what happened there.
I would agree.
2nd down and 10, play action fake. Catterton's pass to the near side is complete. Spun down at about the 36-yard line is Andrew Gendron, junior from Schenectady, with his first catch of the day.
Yeah, I was at practice on Thursday, and multiple coaches were speaking to the sheer versatility and just how nice it is to have Gendron on this team, and it helps for Catterton. Get him going early, get him a few short passes. Hopefully he can get in a rhythm. Be great for the Falcons if he's throwing at a high completion percentage.
He is a big target out of that tight end position. Not on the field here. Falcons go 4 wide receivers, 3rd down and a long 6. They need their own 43. Motion man is Kimball. Catterton takes the shotgun snap. Pass is batted down at the line and incomplete. One of the names, Cam, that we were told to look out for on that Bridgewater State defense is big number 65, Jorge Aquino, and you'll never guess who knocked this pass down.
Well, Jorge Aquino having his paws on the game early. He comes into this game leading the MASCAC in both sacks and tackles for a loss. Followed closely behind by number 98, number 98 of the Falcons, Adam Tomazeski, who has 7 sacks and second in the conference in tackles for a loss. It's going to be a good one.
Now, you shared a locker room with him. It's Tomazeski?
Oh, boy. Tomazeski, I wish we could get him up here to just confirm.
Hunter Sands will kick it away. It's a very good kick. Spiraling, taken in, fair catch made at the 25-yard line. So Fitchburg State's defense gets the turnover. The offense goes 3 and out. That's something you've heard a few times before, unfortunately.
Heard and experienced a few times, to say the least. But this is going to be a battle. I expect there to be a few punts. The defense is really going to be the control over this game. We talked so much about the Falcons' defense, and Bridgewater, they're looking to tee off as well. Catterton did not get sacked last week, and you know Jorge Aquino and co. are looking to change that.
11:01 to play first quarter. Scoreless here from Elliott Field. Bridgewater State's offense comes back out, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Handoff to right, try the left side. This time pretty good blocking by the Bear offensive line. Isaiah Wright's across the 30, mark him down at the 32. It's a gain of 7 for Bridgewater State.
And it's interesting, we've seen almost exclusively Isaiah Wright after Cloutman had the majority of the carries last week against UMD.
Second down and 3 now, Bridgewater State. Bears have gone exclusively from the shotgun. This time they hand off up the middle for Wright. down at about the 34. It's the second time already, Cam, that Bridgewater has faked that jet sweep to Mitchell and then gone somewhere else. First time it was a play-action pass, ended up in a pass completion to Mitchell. This time they fake the sweep, go right up the middle with the dive.
Yeah, we call that, on the field we call that eye candy. You really don't need to worry about it, but I guarantee that there will be a jet sweep called at least one point throughout this game.
I was thinking, like, you fake it a couple of times, you've got to just do it once, right? You're setting up for that.
Certainly, I've got to imagine.
3rd down and 1 for Bridgewater State. They stay in the shotgun. Option to the left side, pitch goes to right. Nothing fancy, but it is effective. He gets the first down and ducks out of bounds.
That was interesting. That was a classic option. Obviously, he opted to pitch, which was the right decision. You can see on the replay here, those can get scary. If they're not ran well, fumble, and next thing you know, 7 the other way.
When you're coming at this from the defensive end, because obviously we think a lot about it from what the quarterback has to do. We'll talk a little bit after this play about that option. Hold that thought. 1st and 10, Bridgewater State. Fake the jet sweep once again. Another handoff to right up the middle. It's across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Now, Cam, getting back to the option play, I always think of it from the quarterback. He's reading the defensive end. If the end commits this way, I'm keeping. If he commits that way, I'm pitching. When you're on the defensive end and defending against a play, how fast can you recognize, oh, this is an option, and then from there, do you have to make a decision, or are you trying to keep both options open?
Typically, you have a predetermined decision based on what you see, and it happens immediately at the end of the day. If it's a second late, you're going to give up the first down.
2nd down and 6 now. Handoff straight up the middle. Really nothing doing. Falcon defensive line does a good job standing tall. A little bit of an extra push by the Bears. They'll gain a couple. It'll be 3rd and 3. So getting back to the option again, you have that, you mentioned a predetermined decision. Are you like saying no matter what the quarterback looks like he's doing, I'm always attacking the quarterback, or?
Yeah, so it partially depends on what the scheme is, but sometimes if you're the defensive end, you have to respect the outside. A lot of times you're actually not the quarterback guy. You have to respect the back and keep that contained. We saw the broken contain on that first drive, and your keys are the most important, not necessarily following the ball.
3rd down and 3 now for Bridgewater State. Back to passes, Doobie Garrett. Under pressure, throws across his body to the left, but the pass is on target. 1st down, Bridgewater State still on his feet into Falcon territory. Ramar Robinson with the catch and a little bit of extra effort. They'll spot him down at Fitchburg's 47. Will be another first down for the Bears.
And something you may know is
We've always said Tomacheski.
Aiden Tomacheski was not on the field for that. The Falcons' leader in sacks, not there on that big 3rd down pass attempt.
3rd and 3, I think maybe Fitchburg State was thinking Bridgewater would go to the ground. Maybe, hypothetically. I don't know, I'm not a coach. 1st and 10 for the Bears. Doobie Garrett back to pass again, under pressure again. Steps back, just lofts one for the near side. There's nobody there. Sprinting after it was Ramar Robinson.
Robinson defended by Zaire McKnight, and anytime you throw it up with Zaire McKnight in range, you have to be careful. Surprised that one didn't get out of bounds.
He's definitely in the pocket. I guess Robinson is close enough that you're not going to call this intentional grounding. Really no zip on the pass there from Doobie Garrett. He wasn't able to step into it at all, just kind of lofted it off his back foot, and that resulted in an incompletion. Now on 2nd down, they fake the jet sweep once again. Doobie Garrett designed roll to his left. Still rolling, passes batted at the line, jump ball, and it falls incomplete. There were 2 different Falcons, Cam, who went up for it. I don't know if they collided, but neither one was able to come down with the rock.
We'll have to see it on the replay, John, but a Christmas present early wasted. As a D lineman, you see this in the air, your eyes light up, and unfortunately the ball hits the green.
Pass you see there batted at the line. Cam Topkin goes up for it. A couple of Falcons, one of the O-linemen for the Bears. It's just 3 bodies coming together. None of them wind up with the ball. That's what the 3-body problem is, right?
I guess so.
I never saw that movie, but I heard it was good. Now 3rd and 10 for Bridgewater State. Another pass. Doobie Garrett steps up, throws over the middle. That pass is high and incomplete. Doobie Garrett was intended to get that ball to Mohali Mitchell, and that is news to Mohali Mitchell, Cam. He never looked for the ball.
No, but honestly, I think you have to give some credit to this Falcons pass defense, who currently ranks second in the country in terms of passing yards allowed per game, only allowing 115 per game, making a stand early, forcing another, well, this will be the first punt of the game, but offense is going to get the ball back.
Good snap. Punt is very short angled for the sideline. They'll go out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. That's only like a 16-yard kick.
I was about to say a net of 15 maybe. That's a great field position in light of where it could have been for the Falcons. You were worried maybe getting pinned inside the 20.
Situation like that, when you're punting from the opponent's 46-yard line, you've got to be thinking like you can get a coffin corner here. You want to at least angle it out of bounds because you do respect the return ability of Elijah Zaire Easy McKnight. But that was just not a very good kick there by Bridgewater.
Maybe it's just a lot of respect.
It could be. It's an awful lot of respect. Colby Catterton comes back out for his second series here at Elliott Field. Rocky Marchitelli out with an injury. Believe he is the backup quarterback today as he works back into the rotation. First down handoff comes to the near side. Hurdling over a defender is Oreo Fatoki. Oreo is dragged down pretty much at the line of scrimmage, and there is an injured Falcon. Looks like Xavier Aguilar, the junior O-lineman from San Antonio, is down at the just about the line of scrimmage. See there Fatoki's run, and there is Xavier Aguilar.
Yeah, a lot of these run plays, a lot of guys end up getting caught up, tied up in the line of scrimmage. Xavier is obviously, he's a great guy, a great piece of this Falcons program. You got to hope he's all right here.
Graduate of Highland High in San Antonio. Former Owl, Xavier Aguilar. And they are actually going to drive the cart out to help Xavier get off the field here. If you're just joining us, folks, 6:51 to play here in the first quarter. We're scoreless from Elliott Field. You see several fellow members of the offensive line helping Xavier Aguilar get up onto the cart. They do have an ambulance here on site, ready if they deem it necessary.
Yeah, Xavier, such a positive guy. Truly such a bright spot of this Falcons O-line. Has been here for the last 3 years. You should hope he's okay here as he's getting up now on the cart.
Nice round of applause here from the fans. I believe we saw he was hopping on the left foot, so obviously an injury to the right side, right lower body. Didn't see exactly what happened to him, but as you said, Cam, those, any run play on the offensive line, just there's a lot of bodies and not a lot of space.
Exactly that, and I don't envy being an offensive lineman because a lot of times the hurdling man with a ball going max speed is coming right behind you, right at your legs. It's kind of scary.
So the cart will take Xavier Aguilar to the sidelines. They'll bring him to the medical tent. And we will turn our attention back to the game. 2nd down and 10 coming up for the Falcons. The run by Oreo Fatoki got back to the line of scrimmage, no further than that. And the clock begins to run as we go under 6:45 to play here in the first quarter. Colby Catterton getting signals from the sideline. Offensive coordinator Garrett Delakiai. Play clock at 10. The Falcons come set. Catterton, quick pass to the near side. Catch is made. That's Emilio Caby with the reception. Brought down pretty much immediately Elijah Neal with the tackle for Bridgewater State.
To my previous point, John, you really want to see Catterton hit these early passes relatively consistently, and it seems as though that was his plan going into that play. But on the other side, Neal and Bridgewater and co were ready for it. You'll take that as Bridgewater's defense.
Yeah, you've got a freshman quarterback. You want to get a couple quick hitters in, but now it sets up a 3rd down and 8. Catterton back to pass, throwing to his right side. Pass is incomplete. Very nearly picked off. It looked like Dakari Rodriguez might have jumped that. They were trying to hit KB again.
Rodriguez slamming his hand on the ground after that play, you'll see, because this one was very close to going the other way.
And we take another look here. Dakari Rodriguez does a good job diagnosing the flat route, getting out there, trying to jump the pass, unable to bring it in. But he does get the deflection, knocks it down. So it'll be another punt coming up for Fitchburg State. Hunter Sands sets up at about his own 23. This one's a very high kick, a little bit shorter. Fair catch called for and made at the 34-yard line. It's pretty much where Bridgewater State has started each of their first few possessions. They started at the 35, the 25, now they're back out to the 34.
Exactly that, and I commend the Bears defense on that last drive. You really got put in a tough situation after what we'll say is a lackluster punt. They force a 3-and-out.
Fitchburg State's offense really hasn't been able to get anything going. They've got a couple of short completions, really nothing in the run game yet. I almost think, Cam, on their next possession, just first play fake, go deep. Just loosen up these Bears defenders a little bit.
I agree. It'll definitely keep their head on a swivel.
Bridgewater State's offense back out there. 1st and 10 for them. Handoff up the middle, bouncing it to the left side. Brought down at just about the 45-yard line. That's Andrew Kloutman's 2nd carry of the game. And it's good for a 1st down.
Something I can't help but take note of again is Tomaszewski's not in there right now. 2nd in the MASCAC in sacks.
He is on the sideline ready to go, not being tended to by the trainers or anything, but Falcons going with different personnel. 1st and 10, Bridgewater State. Once again, this is Wright, the ball carrier. Hitting the backfield, breaks free of that. And he gets across to the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 4. We'll call it 2nd and 6 coming up for the Bears. Good run by Isaiah Wright, senior from Worcester.
Seems like it was Antonio Pacheco who almost made the play in the backfield. And let me add this real quick, John. He's also a great hammer thrower for the track team.
Okay. 2nd and 6. Fake the jet sweep once again. It's a handoff to Wright up the middle. He's hit about the 48-yard line. And they'll stop forward progress right there. About a yard shy of the line to gain, so it'll be 3rd and 1. We'll take another look.
So you see them going back to that motion, and it forces the defense to at least consider 3 different options. The jet sweep man may get it, the back in the backfield may take it up the middle, or it may be the quarterback keeping going with a run or going with a pass. It's really a versatile look.
Falcons bring in Trevor Barnes. It's a little bit of extra muscle on the defensive line. 3rd down and 1. Direct snap goes to Kwisanga. He's hitting the backfield, spins back toward the middle. He's got a 1st down and more. The pile will push him to the 40-yard line. Everson Kwisanga, the junior quarterback from Boston, takes the direct snap, and he picks up the 1st down.
Yeah, a little frustrating. You've got to feel like Coach Sullivan and the Falcons defense will be on that one. You saw a personnel change happen last second. Jan Val's come off the field to get some heavier personnel on, and it seemed like they had him in the backfield. That second effort, though, extends this drive for the Bridgewater Bears.
We mentioned Doobie Garrett, not really much of a running threat. They do have Everson Kwisanga, 16 carries, 55 yards on the season. So a bit more speed from the quarterback position. Kwisanga has thrown it as well, so the Falcons do need to respect that possibility if he comes out on the field again. Before we get 1st and 10 for Bridgewater State, they will take their first timeout of the half.
Timeout. Bridgewater.
And as the Bears take their first time out of the half, we will take this time to thank the underwriters who bring this and every remote production to you here on FATV.
Fitchburg Access Television's remote productions are brought to you in part by Rollstone Bank and Trust, Acme Carpet One, All One Credit Union, The Sentinel and Enterprise, Minuteman Press, and Unitil.
3:07 to play here, first quarter. We are scoreless from Elliott Field on the campus of Fitchburg State University. I'm John Gugerty, joined by Cam Manette. Bridgewater State just picked up a pretty important first down. Cam, you mentioned that the Falcons are playing without Aiden Tomaszewski. I just noticed Tomaszewski slam his helmet down in frustration here on the sideline, and he's currently getting a stern talking to as Everson Kwisanga takes the snap and the direct snap to him. He gains about 4 yards. I think, Cam, there might be something going on that we're not privy to regarding Tomaszewski.
I would have to agree with you, John. It definitely doesn't look injury related. He seemed pretty healthy throwing that helmet.
We may learn more at the end of the first quarter. Is that something that typically you might see?
Yeah, we'll probably find more details as they develop. How about that?
Something to keep in mind. 2nd down and 6 coming up for Bridgewater State. They bring Joseph Doobie Garrett back out at quarterback. Handoff this time goes to Brian Ivets, senior running back from Barrington, Rhode Island. Ivets got back to the line of scrimmage, really not much more than that. They'll give him a yard, so it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up for the Bears.
Yeah, 3rd and 5 from the opposition 35. Your playbook's really open here. You could go
this is
run
4-down
again.
territory, isn't it?
I would most definitely say, unless you take a huge sack. So you can go pass here, you can go short run. It's really an open playbook.
Bridgewater State's operated exclusively from the shotgun. They do so again here. Doobie Garrett takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls right, throws right. Jump ball on the near side is caught. Did he hang on to it as he went out of bounds? Yes, he did. Colton Johnson, the junior tight end, with the catch. Big gain for the Bears. It'll be another first down. Take another look.
Yeah, we know Bridgewater loves their tight ends, showing 2 tight end personnel once again on that play, but usually these tight ends are in there for blocking. That's actually a really impressive play.
Very nice catch on the near sideline, again by Colton Johnson. Gives Bridgewater State 1st and 10 at the Falcon 22. Kloutman gets the carry. He's across the 20. They'll mark him down at about the 18-yard line.
Gain of 8.
Actually, no, that's the 13-yard line. That was a better run than I gave it credit for. It's a gain of 8 for the Bears. Call it 2nd and 2 coming up.
You see some heavier bodies coming on the field for the Falcons. It seems as though they're going goal line, trying everything they can to stop the run.
We mentioned coming in, Bridgewater State is going to want to move the ball on the ground. Fitchburg State has been a little bit vulnerable to that on the course of this season. Bridgewater State still going from the shotgun on 2nd and 2. Doobie Garrett hands off to Kloutman again, goes straight up the middle. Wow, it didn't seem like there was a line, much of a hole there, but it is enough for a first down. Officials will stop the clock and move the chains.
Gain of about 3 on the play.
Is there a flag down? Folks here in the press box are saying there is a flag, and the officials are conferring, so we'll see what the call is. Seem to be conferring. No, they're just conferring among themselves. So let's get the call.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense. 5 yards from the previous spot. The result of the penalty will make it first down.
So the Bears will elect to take the yardage from the penalty rather than the run. It's a couple more yards. Either way, it's a first down for Bridgewater State.
And this is the first penalty we've seen on the Falcons. This was a big talking point coming into today, is how they've really been weighed down by the penalties. It's certainly been a problem. I can't say it any other way. The penalties they've taken has been really debilitating.
Falcons have conceded more penalty yards per game than any D3 team in the nation. Now we got a fumble here on 1st and goal. They went back to Everson Kwisanga. I believe the Bears fell on the loose ball, and they did indeed. Having the recovery for Bridgewater State was Philip D'Aleva, number 66. Great job by him falling on the loose pigskin. We'll take another look. See, Kusanga just gets blown up in the backside.
That's the end of the period.
Just takes a hit right on the shoulder. I believe that was Manny Cano, Cam, who made the hit for Fitchburg State.
I believe so. I thought it might have been Tyson Thornton. Regardless, it was a huge opportunity, nearly capitalized on by the Falcons there. And when Bridgewater gets into the red zone, they are looking Wildcat. They are looking to run the ball even more so than they already are.
You mentioned Kusanga does have a number of carries on the season, a couple of rushing touchdowns for him as well, so definitely something Fitchburg State will need to be aware of. We've reached the end of the first quarter, a scoreless first quarter here at Elliott Field, but Bridgewater State is knocking on the door as the teams make the long walk. They'll go all the way down to the other end of the field.
Speaking of that long walk, it was always better when, the quarter would flip and maybe we were at the 50-yard line, 45, so it's 10 yards at worst, not too bad. Now they have to go 80 yards just to get back to where they were.
Just go the length of the field and then play defense. It's fine. It's fine. It's an interesting day weather-wise. If you're standing in the shade or if the breeze catches up, it's downright chilly. But at the same time, if you're in the sun, it's basically short sleeves weather here. It's one of those weird fall days, I guess.
Good old New England, that's what I'd say.
That's right. That's true. Now, we think of a certain kind of weather as football weather, which is basically this, honestly. It's October, it's a little chilly, but not too much.
November 1st?
November 1st, that's right. It is not October. Second down and goal. They finally do go to the jet sweep. Hit at the line, spinning forward. I believe that was Registry who had the carry. No, it was Daniel Wolf, my apologies.
It's interesting they opt to go to Wolf on the jet sweep here. It's especially because Kusanga has been so prolific running the ball out of Wildcat in goal line that this switch, it's actually a switch look to actually give it on the jet.
We'll take our best guess. Bridgewater State is one of those teams that hasn't decided to take our hexadecimal numbering system that Dan and I proposed. So they just have 2 number 9s. Given that Registry is the one who's listed as a receiver, I think that was him, but we can only be so certain.
Timeout. Bridgewater.
Well, let me tell you, John, coming from Fitchburg State, there's never been a situation where we've had multiple players in the same game with the same number. I don't know if we have 2 of the same jerseys.
It's not something that's come up a lot for Fitchburg State, I'll say that. Although we were talking a little bit before the game, Cam, this roster, and just in terms of personnel, it's a lot deeper now than it was maybe at some times when you were playing.
100%. In talking to the wide receivers coach, Coach Charles, that's something he was most impressed with their efforts in the offseason, with their ability to replace some of these guys who left. And I would say not even fill the gap, improve in these gaps, because as the team bonded with these new guys, they're hitting new levels as the year goes.
Third and goal from the 1-yard line. Doobie Garrett back in at quarterback for the Bears. He'll go shotgun. Hand off to Cloutman. He'll try straight up the middle. He's hit at the line. Did he fall forward? Yes! Touchdown, Bridgewater State. Andrew Cloutman from a yard out puts the Bears on the board, gives them the lead.
Falcons made him earn this yard, but Cloutman fought, and when you only need a yard, sometimes that's that little extra effort. As we see, he was very close to getting caught up in the backfield. Oh, so close.
Rush from the edge came from Tyson Thornton. He wasn't quite able to hit Cloutman in the backfield. He gets in for the score. Extra point attempt is up and good. So with 14:04 to play in the first half, Bridgewater State leads Fitchburg State by a score of 7-0. While we have a moment, folks, we want to mention that if you're looking for the Fitchburg High School game, that is on other FATV platforms. You can go to fatv.org/watch-FATV. I can tell you if you were interested in that game, it is currently 22-0 in favor of Sharon. So, yeah, maybe you want to stick here, but I don't know. Dan Bolek and Sean Sweeney have the call over there. They're also tremendous. So
That's what I was going to say, John. I think there might be some people looking to tune in just to hear Dan Bolek. I mean,
I would tune in to hear Dan Bolek.
I might have to go listen to the replay just to hear Dan Bolek. And a fun statistic I want to bring into this is the fact Dan Bolek is missing his first Fitchburg State home game as an announcer since 2014. I'm in a great set of shoes right now.
You have some big shoes to fill. Dan Bolek, obviously an integral part of the broadcast, even without being here for the game. Dan was still here beforehand helping set up our graphics. He printed out 5 pages worth of stats and rosters for myself and Cam. We have all the respect and all the thanks in the world for Dan Bolek and the work that he did just for this game. To put aside all of the work he did for the games, plural, that he is actually calling this weekend. An incredible man is Dan Bolek. Kickoff taken in. They'll hand it off the other way, do the Falcons. Flag comes in behind the play as this one goes up past the 30-yard line, but I think it's coming all the way back, Cam.
Yeah, so the Falcons were looking to go with a reverse on the first kickoff they were going to receive. I didn't want to say anything before it happened. They run the reverse, and it's going with a solid return here, brought back by a penalty.
Yeah, you mentioned you didn't want to say anything. You knew that was happening, didn't you?
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay.
Insider information.
I see.
The one thing I might have over Dan.
During the return, block in the back, number 7 on the return team. First down.
Rashawn
Half the
Stewart.
distance to the goal.
Rashawn Stewart guilty of a block in the back after the handoff was made on the reverse on the kickoff. See Izzy Abraham getting the call from the referee. Not terribly happy with it, but very little he can do at this juncture.
Part of why this is so frustrating, not only does it essentially negate what was a solid return, it pushes you back, and you're starting inside your own 10 where you're really looking to match Bridgewater here.
Fitchburg's offense has not gained a first down all day. They'll go to Oreo Fatoki here on first down. Gets forward to about the 10-yard line, so they'll give him 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7 coming up for Fitchburg State.
And John, we had talked about maybe seeing Catterton throw to open the drive, but when you're starting so backed up, that is, I'd say, more of a risk than a potential reward.
It can be very risky. You do have a freshman quarterback there making just his 2nd start. Colby Catterton takes the shotgun snap, hands off again. Fatoki to the right side, bounces outside, and he is grabbed and spun down. Great job there on the defensive side by Benjamin Wing. Basically not allowing Fatoki to get to the wing. We'll take another look. Wing basically, to bust out the first wrestling reference of the week, he basically just put him in a crossface chicken wing and spun him to the ground.
And, Fatoki's tough to bring down. I'll add to that. He's a bowling ball.
3rd and 7 coming up for the Falcons. Empty backfield for Catterton. Back to pass, looking left, steps up, doesn't like it. Still looking, now throws, floats to the far side and incomplete. Believe the intended target was J.C. Ham, the junior from Quincy. Seems to my eye, Cam, like Catterton really wasn't able to get anything behind that throw.
No, and you're running to your left as a right-handed quarterback. Oftentimes you can't get a lot on it. And the pocket held up pretty decently, especially in light of Xavier's injury. But you'll see here on the replay going left, you have to turn your body if you really want to get into it, a little jump pass. And unfortunately, another 3 and out for these Falcons, and you're punting really backed up in the shadow of your own goalpost, as they say.
Catterton, I think, had a little more time than he thought he did.
I would agree, yeah.
Got rid of that ball a little more hastily than maybe he needed to. Good punt away from Hunter Sands. Fair catch called for and made at the Fitchburg 43-yard line. So that penalty on the kickoff return, Cam, coming back to bite the Falcons again. The offense not able to get really any first down at all. Another 3 and out for Fitchburg State. Bridgewater State takes over with the ball in Fitchburg territory.
And part of why this is a little concerning for the Falcons is, yes, their offense flowed well, especially after the Jan Val's pick 6 last week. But we know this Bridgewater defense is a little more stagnant, maybe, or prolific, I should say, than the Anna Maria defense.
1st and 10 for the Bears at the Falcon 42-yard line. Fitchburg State shows a little bit of heat, and they do come. Handoff goes to right up the middle. He's speared down at the 39 after a gain of 3.
Gain of 3. Tyson Thornton with the tackle for Fitchburg.
Tyson Thornton with the tackle for Fitchburg State. It's a senior from Springfield. Hey, I know where that is.
Look at that. And you see another 3-4 yard run by the Bridgewater Bears, and that's at this point of the field, that's what they're going to look for. It's 4 down territory from here on out.
2nd down and 7, Bridgewater State. Mitchell goes in motion. Doobie Garrett hands to the right side. First carry of the day for Sean Brown, the freshman from Port Richey, Florida.
Short loss on the play.
You know, that's something I love about Division III athletics. Is on one hand, you'll have the local guys like myself who are maybe commuting to the game, and then you'll have the guys who have maybe been here for months from Florida or Cali. I mean, we had a guy from Alaska once.
Yeah. You look down just the Bridgewater State roster. We saw Colorado earlier. I see a few Floridas in there. There's a Rhode Island. There's a Bergenfield in New Jersey.
People often underestimate the recruiting effort that's really put in at the Division III level. It is some really high-quality recruiting.
It's a very short loss for Brown. 3rd and 8 for the Bears. Doobie Garrett under pressure. Pass is tipped, goes through the hands of his intended receiver, and it is incomplete. Pretty sure that did take a deflection before it got to Justin Udo. Udo was not happy with himself for not being able to bring it in, but Cam, we'll take another look at this one. I think it gets deflected.
Yeah, and any true competitor will be on himself for not making a play, but exactly that. That was a solid deflection. I think that was Cam Topkin there. And earlier I alluded to this being 4 down territory, but after a TFL and a big stop by the Falcons, they forced the punt. That's huge.
Chance for the Bears to pin the Falcons deep again. They will instead boot it straight through the end zone.
Talk about 2 very different punts.
Touchback that time. That was Jay Como doing the punting, I believe, for Bridgewater State. Como boots it right through the end zone. So Fitchburg State's offense will come back out to the 20-yard line. And Cam, the defense for Fitchburg State, at least thus far in the first half, has really done their job. Bridgewater State got 1 score, but so far, Bridgewater, they've also been forced to punt a couple times. Fitchburg State got a turnover. It's really incumbent on the offense to do something.
I agree, 100%.
I believe they've run 9 plays. 3 drives, 3 3-and-outs.
That's, I will say, when the offense gets going, that defensive drive is one you will want to look back on. Falcons easily could have gone down 14-0, and then we go from there. Forcing the turnover or the punt, it's going to be big. We'll see.
Play fake pass to the far side on 1st down. Catch is made, and it's a gain of just a couple yards.
Yeah, you see him trying to go to P.J. Norton early. Another short throw, trying to just get in a rhythm. But the Bridgewater secondary and truly all the Bears are swarming very well.
Darren Duclas with the initial hit there for the Bears. And then there was an entire pack. It's a pack of Bears,
oh,
right?
Yeah, I guess so.
2nd and 7 coming up for Fitchburg State. Handoff to the right side. Cutting up the middle and down at the 30. Close to a first down is Anthony Aquendo. And he's got a Fitchburg first down. That's their first of the day.
Yeah, the Fitchburg High graduate has been such a welcome and nice addition for these Falcons. And as a former player, I'm maybe a little upset that he wasn't playing when I was here. The Franklin Pierce transfer has certainly made quite an impact.
One of the best players in Red Raider history gets the carry again here on 1st down. Aquendo tries the left side, gains a couple of yards.
Gain of about 3.
Went to Franklin Pierce, came back, He's been coaching the girls flag football team for Fitchburg High for the past couple seasons.
He's also a dad, which is really cool. Talk about versatility. Mr. Oquendo, how about it?
He'll head to the sidelines. Oreo Fatoki will check back in.
And John, I think their ability to switch from Oquendo to Fatoki to Rayshawn Stewart, even Tomas Polanco, we've seen get carries. Their running back room is one of their strengths this year that has not been featured in years past.
2nd and 7 now for Fitchburg State. Play action fake. Catterton's pass is swatted down at the line, very nearly picked off. There's that man again on defense, Jorge Aquino. Just towering over the Falcon offensive line. Catterton couldn't get it past him.
And similarly, that was another quick pass. Part of the reason you go to these quick passes is not only to get your guy in a rhythm, but it also does limit or at least restrict the pass rush, as we see Xavier Aguilar on the sideline. His day, unfortunately, is going to be done. But as I said, he's a great guy.
3rd down and 7 coming up for Fitchburg. They'll send Oquendo in motion. Catterton's pass over the middle is incomplete, intended for Emilio Cabe. Well defended there by Demetrius Sequeira. So Fitchburg gets 1 first down, but then they go 3 more and out. Here comes the punting team once again. Real quick, Cam, I do want to say it is good to see Xavier Aguilar at least able to still be here and be part of be on the sidelines and cheering his team on. At least, if you look for some positivity, he didn't need immediate, rush to the hospital.
Exactly
level
that.
attention.
Exactly that. I did fail to note that while he was injured, but it's always good to see him go into the tent instead of the ambulance.
4th down, Hunter Sands will kick it away for the Falcons. This one short and spinning. Goes out of bounds at about the Falcon 48-yard line. It's only about a 10-yard kick.
Yeah, I think that very similar to that punt we saw to Bridgewater earlier, that is not exactly flipping the field.
There was a little bit of a gust of breeze, but it can sometimes, when you're a punter, releasing that ball just a little bit. I don't know if that was entirely, if it was just a miss-hit.
Yeah, it got caught up almost. You could say it's air, you could say it's the ball being released incorrectly. I was never a punter. I don't envy their job at all. But it's unfortunately, it's not what you want to see out of a 4th down punt attempt. You'd way rather the Bears be starting on their own 30, let alone your 44 here.
You mentioned after that last stop, Fitchburg State's defense able to hold the Bears away. They have to do it again. 1st and 10 for Bridgewater State at the Fitchburg 44. Pass to the near side is caught. It's Isaiah Wright with the catch.
And I very quickly jutted my arm because it seemed as though 92 KJ Harden was getting held pretty clearly on this one. As we've learned in the Division III conference, the holdings are not always called, I can attest.
It's, every referee has their own interpretation of what a hold is.
And there's holding on every play.
That's true. It's a loss of 2 actually on the completion to Wright. So now 2nd and 12, play action fake. Doobie Garrett rolls to his right. He do be throwing. It's into the secondary and caught. 1st down for the Bears. Out of bounds just shy of the 20-yard line is Mohali Mitchell. Another catch for him.
And once again, you see Bridgewater not huddling. Their tempo offense is something that the Falcons, I don't want to say they've struggled with, but it's really hard to work against. It happens so much quicker.
1st and 10, Bridgewater State at the 24-yard line, just about halfway through the 2nd quarter. Bears lead 7-0. Doobie Garrett throws to the left side. Pass is caught. Stood up immediately after making that catch was Josh Registry.
Registry with the reception.
Quick pass there. The pressure was getting there through Tomacheski, who we were talking about, not on the field. His impact might be starting to, we'll say, he might have a presence now, as he just almost got back there.
Wait, you're telling me it's now the 2nd quarter and Tomacheski's on the field?
We're left to speculate, that's all.
We can only speculate. We can only speculate. 2nd down and 5 coming up now for Bridgewater State. Isaiah Wright gets the carry. Good blocking for him, good hole forms. He plunges forward. He's got the 1st down. They'll mark him at about the 12-yard line.
And we talked about the Bridgewater Bears tight ends. Solid block on that one by number 87, Colton Johnson opening up the hole there. Another Bridgewater first down. Get the goal line personnel out for both sides.
Yeah, Johnson with the block. I also saw big number 66, Philip D'Aleva, coming from the right guard position, pulling to the left.
First and 10 from the Fitchburg 12.
Sets up 1st and 10 for Bridgewater State at the Fitchburg 12, so they can get a first down without scoring. They'd probably rather just take the 6. Handoff Cloutman.
Cloutman,
Gets to the 10.
gain of 2.
I'll spot him just inside at the 9-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 7 for Bridgewater State.
I mean, you can't speak highly enough about the Falcons defense to this point in the season. And once again, John, it feels as though they're being tested. Truly, that's what it is. It feels like you have to get a big stand here just to keep your offense in it.
2nd down and 7. Cloutman heads to the sideline, sends Isaiah Wright back in. Doobie Garrett remains at quarterback. Play action fake. No, it is a handoff to Wright. He bounces it out to the left side, dives, and he is in. Touchdown, Bridgewater State. Isaiah Wright with the score.
10-yard touchdown rush.
For Wright, it's his 5th touchdown rush of the season. Makes it 13-0 in favor of Bridgewater State.
You'll see on the replay, number 66 pulling again, and there are two close efforts just nearly missed by the Falcons, leading to what will probably be a 14-0 lead for the Bears.
Wright had to leave his feet and dive for it, but he broke the plane well before landing. Easy touchdown for the officials to rule.
Kick is good.
Extra point is up and good. So we'll make Nate Silver happy. 5:38 to play here in the second quarter. 14-0 Bridgewater State. Now, Cam, for Fitchburg State, they're going to get the ball to start the third quarter. They've got 5.5 minutes, all 3 timeouts. There is plenty of time. However, they've had the ball 4 times and they have 1 first down. You need to get something going on offense.
Exactly that. You have to get something going, and you can't overthink it. You can't put your quarterback, you can't put anyone in a situation they're uncomfortable with, but at the same time, it's not 0-0 anymore. So you wonder if they'll start reaching into those medium to maybe further attempts, passing attempts. At the end of the day, what I want to see is just a well-sustained drive, because as bad as it is to be down 14-0, the last thing you want to do is a 3-and-out. Bridgewater set up with a 21-0 lead at halftime.
That would be the worst case scenario. I'm not saying Fitchburg State absolutely needs to, the next time Bridgewater gets the ball, they get it at 14-14 in the third quarter. But at the very least, I would think for Fitchburg State, success on this drive is a few first downs, and if you're gonna kick with under a minute left to play. Don't give the Bears any chance to score. At the very least, hold the ball for a few minutes, go to halftime down 14-0.
100%. Even with it being 14-0, your defense is playing very well. We'll keep you in this game.
Bouncing kick picked up at about the 5-yard line by Easy McKnight. Not much doing for him on the return. Gets across the 20. And it'll be spotted at the 22-yard line. Fitchburg State's offense will come back out.
Yeah, I think it's James Martin on the tackle here, and sometimes Fitchburg State's best offense.
Sorry to cut you off, Cam. I do want to call out Rocky Marchitelli is coming on the field. Rocky Marchitelli missed last week's game with an injury. We thought his availability a little questionable today. Rocky Marchitelli back in at quarterback for Fitchburg State.
Yeah, and the tempo and sort of the gradual, but at the same time, effective drive, I think you can have it with Rocky right here.
First down handoff coming to the near side. Spun down from behind is Anthony Aquendo. You see him signaling to the sideline, almost wondering, like, was there a face mask? Was there a horse collar? There's been a couple of plays already where you thought maybe they could get the Bears for that, but flags haven't come out yet.
Yeah, that one reigned similar to Aquendo's first carry where we thought there was that horse collar. You'll see on the replay here. Very close, very close.
Close to a face mask. That one's a little bit less obvious because I think the defender's hand was actually around on the front of the jersey and just spun him down. There was one earlier that should have been called.
100%.
No gain for Aquendo. Second down and 10. Marchitelli play action fake under pressure. Evades a defender. Rolls to the near side. Pass for the sideline is caught by Aquendo. Was he in bounds? The officials will say yes. It's a gain of just a couple, though. We'll take another look.
You'll see the pressure by Martinez right here, but Rocky, he's experienced. He has pocket presence. Makes a nice play to get a few yards here. 3rd and 8 for the Falcons. I don't want to say this is a gotta-have-it play, but it would go length if you convert this first down for both your offense and defense.
Great job by Oquendo as well, keeping his feet in bounds. Marchitelli goes long on 3rd down, pass is incomplete. Just a little bit too far for Zahir Gomez. First time Gomez has been targeted today. And a flag comes in well after the play. Talking long after the play. Headlines person throws the flag. See on the replay pass just a little bit too long for Zahir Gomez. And then well after that, after the play was dead and the players were coming back, we saw one of the officials throw their flag.
After the play was over, dead ball, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 6 on the defense. The result of the team is an automatic first down.
Dakari Rodriguez charged with a personal foul well after the play was over. Cam, that is huge for Fitchburg State.
We talked about how important that 3rd and 8 was just to continue the drive, keep your offense on the field. Thank you very much. You guys had us. And next thing you know, the drive continues, and especially if the Falcons score here, revisit that.
Second chance for the Falcon offense. 1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line. Play fake to Oquendo, handoff to Fatoki. He's hit at the line and driven backwards.
Yeah, you see the Falcons try to tap into the versatility you see between Fatoki and Oquendo, but that play just didn't really develop effectively, and this Bridgewater Bears defense is getting after it. Even after what is a crushing penalty, they are essentially in the driver's seat, being up 14-0.
And after no gain on 1st down, makes it 2nd and 10 for Fitchburg. 3:45 to play. Falcons do still have all 3 timeouts, so the clock really not much of a factor, at least not yet. Oquendo goes in motion. Marchitelli throws for Katie. Pass was high but brought in. It's a gain of about 6. And they'll spot him back a yard. It's 3rd and 5 coming up now for Fitchburg. And as soon as I say that, the official takes one big step forward. It's 3rd and 4.
That's a nice play by Rocky, essentially getting himself going. That's only the 2nd completion, with the first one being that pretty miraculous, well, pretty crazy one to Oquendo. Now 3rd and 4, we'll see if they throw it.
They will indeed. Marchitelli again going long again for Gomez. That pass is underthrown and intercepted. Picked off on the near side by Elijah Neal. That turned into a jump ball, and Neal had the positioning. You mentioned Cam, Rocky Marchitelli coming out just for this first series, still hasn't really gotten into the rhythm. I think that's a pass he'd want to have back.
I have to agree with you, John. I love the idea of going to Zahir Gomez at all times. He's one of your best receivers, best guys. But just this underthrow, I mean, that one is eyes light up for the DB.
And Neal, you can see, was watching it the whole way. Even as he was marking Gomez, he had his eyes in the backfield. As soon as the pass left Marchitelli's hand, he was able to make the adjustment, step forward, and he ultimately made the interception. Chance now for the Bears to extend their lead. 3:06 to play here in the 2nd quarter. Handoff up the middle for Isaiah Wright. Gets to about the 40-yard line. They'll mark him at the 39. It's a gain of 6, call it 2nd and 4.
Yeah, defensive lineman Lewis Robinson making the tackle on the play here, as you'll see, but doing so 6 yards downfield is a win on a run play for the Bears. If their best case scenario comes to fruition, they will be scored 21-0 with 0 minutes on the clock.
Just one timeout for Bridgewater State. 2:35 now in the half. Play action fake. Doobie Garrett will go long to the near side. He's got a man, but it was incomplete, overthrown, intended for Mohali Mitchell. Mitchell had 2 or 3 steps on Jan Valls.
That's an interesting play call from the Bears here, opting to throw long on the 2nd and 4, which makes you think they probably have a run, something short dialed up here. And you'll see on the replay, they had him, just an overthrow.
And Mitchell had plenty of space between him and the closest defender, but unfortunately for Bridgewater State, also plenty of space between him and the ball. Now on 3rd and 4, we get whistles and a timeout.
Timeout. Fitchburg.
Fitchburg State takes their first timeout. So Izzy Abraham sees what the Bears are coming out with, what kind of formation, decides, let's not. let's call timeout, make them do something else.
It's not too bad using your timeouts in the first half when they reset at halftime.
You don't get to keep them. You can't take them with you. They cease to be.
Some coaches think you can keep them.
Yeah, they'll just keep them in their back pocket. I'll save this for a rainy day, and then it starts raining, and it's like, where'd my timeouts go?
Exactly that.
Well, Coach, they ceased to be at the end of that first half 4 weeks ago. You remember that? See the Falcon cheerleading squad here. The drum line is out as well. I've got to say that is one of my favorite additions to the experience here at Elliott Field.
John, you almost took the words out of my mouth. The creation, I'll say the sudden surgence of this drum line is a beautiful and very fun, I will say, a very nice touch to my ears for these games.
It makes it feel more like a college football game.
Yeah, exactly that.
3rd and 4 coming up for Bridgewater State. Big stop potentially here for Fitchburg's defense. Doobie Garrett under pressure. He's got Thornton bearing down on him. Throws to the right side. That pass is underthrown in. Incomplete. It went right through the arms of a Falcon defender. Andrew Novak was there. He had jumped the route. He went up for the ball. He just couldn't make the catch. Take another look at it.
Almost a turnover right here. Great in and out move by Tyson Thornton. Oh, almost forces the strip sack. And then Andrew Novak, so close to going down the field right now maybe. If there's a little more underthrown.
Punt is away, high, end over end. Fair catch called for and made at the 26-yard line. So Fitchburg State gets the ball back. Their defense again holds. Now the offense has 2 minutes, 15 seconds, and 2 timeouts. That's plenty of time to make something happen if they can hit 1 or 2 big plays.
Truly it is. Truly it is, and as I was going to say on that last kickoff return, sometimes the Falcons' best weapon is Elijah Zaire McKnight, so seeing him call for a fair catch is a win for the Bears.
Colby Catterton is back out. He will take back over at quarterback for Fitchburg State. Catterton led the first 4 drives for Fitchburg. Rocky Marchitelli took over on the last drive, but did throw an interception. Marchitelli heads right back to the bench. It is Colby Catterton, the signal caller for Fitchburg, at least for now. 1st and 10, Fitchburg State, 76 yards, or 74 yards rather for them. They're at their own 26-yard line. So 74 yards from goal, with 135 seconds. I can count sometimes.
That's impressive. Where's the calculator? Come on.
Catterton wants to throw on 1st down. He was looking downfield, didn't like it, shovels it out for Anthony Aquendo. He makes a man miss, he makes another man miss, and then he's hit from behind. He's got a 1st down. It's a gain of about 13 yards on the completion to Anthony Aquendo.
Not every 13-yard reception is created equally, but that is a heads-up play from Catterton as we head to the 2-minute warning.
2-minute timeout.
It's the 2-minute timeout.
Oh.
We made this very clear a couple of years ago. We don't want anyone to be alarmed. We don't want anyone to be scared. There are 2 minutes remaining in the first half.
Something I was impressed with talking to Catterton on Thursday is how calm he was. I was asking, being in a game against Anna Maria, coming into camp as the 4th-string quarterback, do you have any nerves? As also coming from Neshoba Tech, it's not exactly a big premier school. And he's like, no, I'm okay. It's just football. It's just football. And
I've done this. I can do it. As the confidence of football players, man. I'm terrified doing this, and I'm just yakking.
Well, I think the confidence of football players is half of it, and sometimes it's the confidence we can portray, because I would tell you maybe I wasn't so nervous my first career game, but I still remember that first hit, and that moment it crossed my mind like, oh, this is college football.
I was going to say, do you have that, like, welcome to Division III moment?
I do. Our first game was against Dean College, and I remember specifically the right tackle I was going against was also a freshman, so I'm like, okay, we'll lighten into this together. He hits me first play. Oh. No, this is college football.
Did you get him back later, though?
I'd like to say so. We lost 42-6. So
okay, well,
maybe not.
Okay. 1st down pass to the near side is incomplete. Catterton picked the worst place to hit Darian Kimball that time, right in the hands. Pass fell to the ground, incomplete.
What I will say about that Dean game, though, that was my freshman year. By my senior game, I think they were thinking of maybe renaming the Dale Lippert Field to the Caminette Field after 4.5 sacks on that field.
That'll do it.
Excuse me, 4.5 TFLs. Only 4
Only
in the
4.
sack column.
Second down and 10. Catterton wants to throw again. This pass is juggled and falls incomplete. It looked like he had hit Zahir Gomez on the run. Gomez unable to bring it in.
Zahir's going to be frustrated with himself about that one. As a prolific of a receiver Zahir is, this is one he's got to have.
Take another look at it. Gomez comes in from the left side. It looked like the pass was right there. Gomez just not quite able to bring it in. 2 consecutive drops make it 3rd and 10 now for Fitchburg State.
Yeah, Catterton's spotting the ball really well. These last two pass attempts, just the receivers not getting the job done on the back end.
4 receivers on the field for Fitchburg State. Catterton goes from the shotgun as he has all day. Steps up out of the rush. Now under pressure again. He's tackled. The ball comes out, but they're going to say that he was down. Catterton is sacked, and then another shove. 2 flags come in well after the play. I think they're going to back Fitchburg State up another 15 yards. Jorge Aquino wound up on the ground. There was the sack on Catterton. The ball came out. We'll take another look. By this point, they've blown the play dead. Okay, so as is usually the case, and Cam, I think you can attest to this. Well, there's 2 things at play. 1, they get the guy who retaliates, not the guy who made the initial hit.
As always.
And 2, it's a bit of a, is that guy a theater major maybe? Because there was some play acting going on there.
Yeah, I would call that embellishment. I think there's a rule for that now. But to your point, it usually is the retaliator.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 93. Fitchburg, I'm sorry, 63. 63, 15 yards from the previous spot. It's a dead ball foul, down is 4.
Garrett Berry guilty of the infraction well after the play. I'm thankful for the correction. The Falcons do not have a 93. So we were going to be scared for a second.
93 on offense was his fullback set.
I don't know. Is that lineman eligible, 93? I don't think so.
I believe so. I believe San Diego State had a number 90 receiver a few years ago.
Okay.
It's always cool.
But it is 4th down nonetheless, so all it does really is back Fitchburg up 15 more yards. Hunter Sands just outside his own end zone as he'll kick this one away. End over end kick, bounces at the 45, takes a Falcon roll. It'll go into Bridgewater State territory, and the Falcons will let it come to a complete stop and then let a couple more seconds tick off the clock. Mark the ball dead at the 43.
Everything you can to get a few extra seconds, a few extra yards. But to that last personal foul by Barry, he's a freshman. He hasn't, I will say, been here in the years past where we've seen, FATV viewers who have tuned in for these Falcons games. We've seen so often these personal foul penalties rear their ugly head, stall drives, continue drives for the opposition. And once again, this is going to give 15 extra. It gave 15 extra yards to Bridgewater. It's just a young player.
And it could make a difference right here. If it's 1st and 10 at your 28 with 1 timeout in a minute and a half, maybe you just run up the middle, go to halftime. But at your own 43, Bridgewater State goes to the air. Going long to the air, jump ball on the near side. Jan Vals is right there, and he swats it away, incomplete.
Jan Vals, another great play. I almost thought I thought he was having his ability to defend the pass interfered with by the offensive guys, but doesn't matter. Gets the PBU, gets his hand up there. Ooh.
We're trying to hit Mike Wynn. First time they've gone in his direction today. Jan Vals was there, and he knocked it down. Now on 2nd down, Garrett's pass to the near side is broken up, incomplete. Andrew Novak didn't realize that the ball was on his back until it had already fallen to the ground.
Nice
Another
play.
pass break up for him. I'm sorry, Cam, go
Nice
ahead.
play by Novak there, but to your point, if Bridgewater's starting this drive on, say, their 30 or 25, you'll probably see a couple of runs before they fully commit to the passing attack, whereas starting with the ball in the 44, they're sending it right away. This Falcons pass defense continues to stay strong, number 2 in the nation.
3rd and 10, Bridgewater State, 73 seconds at the snap. Doobie Garrett looked left for a long time, didn't like it. He has all day in the pocket, finally throws over the middle. Pass is incomplete. Was intended for registry. There were 2 Falcons on top of him and another downfield. So again, Cam, this Falcon pass defense, 2nd in the nation in all of Division III in passing yards allowed per game. They get another stop here.
Yeah, the reality is the pass rush does not get there on this play, but the passing defense bails them out. I'm very, very impressed by this secondary continuing being put in tough situations and prevailing.
This is a low, dangerous punt. Falcons need to just get away from it. It'll come to a stop at the 31-yard line. Under a minute to play here in the half. Folks, you may remember something like 4.5 minutes of game time and what feels like an hour ago. I said, well, the Falcon offense, ideally for them, they'll get into the end zone and not let Bridgewater have it and don't go down 21-0. I believe this is the 5th possession the teams have had since then.
That was many drives ago, John.
The Falcons went 3 and out. The Bears went 3 and out. The Falcons threw a pick. The Bears went 3 and out. The Falcons went 3 and out. The Bears went 3 and out.
So it almost makes you wonder, what do the Falcons and Coach Abraham do here?
I mean, with 54 seconds and 2 timeouts, why not go downfield?
I would agree, down 14-0, you're definitely going to take some shots downfield. You just don't want to put your quarterback in too bad of a situation.
Catterton throws over the middle on first down. It's caught by Emilio Caby. He's got a first down, not much more than that. He'll be brought down at the Fitchburg 43. 48 seconds to play in the first half. Falcons with 2 timeouts. They will hold on to them for now.
Yep, and the running clock stops for the chains to move. You see them going no huddle.
Wind to the clock at 48 seconds. Falcons snap immediately thereafter. Catterton's pass to the near side is low. KB was right there, and they'll say that he makes the catch. He's a yard shy of the line to gain. We call it 2, actually. 2nd and 2, clock continues to run. Just over midfield is Fitchburg State, 35 seconds and ticking. Again, 2 timeouts for Fitchburg State. Oquendo comes in motion to the near side. Catterton looking long to the near side. Gomez is there, double coverage, jump ball. Gomez makes the catch. And he's inbounds! An incredible catch by Sahir Gomez!
There's a flag in the backfield.
There is a flag downfield. I did see, Cam, the official, the referee, pointing downfield. I don't know if he's saying keep the ball there or it was that guy, but take a look at this incredible catch by Sahir Gomez.
The senior nursing major, actually, with a phenomenal play. I just hope it's not brought back by a hold or another Falcons penalty. That would be killer.
The flag was back at the line of scrimmage. It could be a hold. That could be... Because it's at the sideline as well, you think maybe it's not roughing the passer. We'll get the call right here.
After the play was over, dead ball, personal foul. Late hit, 75, Fitchburg. 15-yard penalty. The result of the play is still a first down.
So Kevin Vieira is guilty of a late hit after the play. It'll back them up 15 yards. We can hear a little bit of the officials' chatter up here in the press box. Falcons will take one of their 2 timeouts with 23 seconds left to play.
Timeout. Timeout. Fitchburg.
Again, 23 seconds to play in the first half. Fitchburg State takes their 2nd timeout. Cam, that was still a remarkable catch. A great play by Sahir Gomez.
We haven't seen Sahir, at least with the reception. We saw the drop earlier. We saw them look towards him on the interception, but to get Sahir involved, I think will be huge for the remaining of the first half and second half, as you're going to have to start experiencing some success in the passing game.
And Gomez has been a very productive member of Fitchburg's offense for a long time, his entire tenure here at Fitchburg State. He's on the verge of some pretty important history, isn't he?
Oh, exactly that. I appreciate you bringing that up, because
sometimes I just, I bump, I set, you spike.
One may say it's the lob and the jam.
Exactly.
But
I'm the alley, you're the oop.
I'll gladly take that.
Okay.
But Sahir is actually, well, now 1 reception after this one. 1 reception away from cracking the top 10 list in Fitchburg State's all-time history. He's at 97 career receptions now. So if he gets 3 more, we'll be celebrating and on the call for number 100 for Sahir in his career, which is extremely impressive. And
one more would tie him for 10th. 3 more gets him to the century mark.
Exactly that. And he's actually 1 touchdown away from being solely number 7th ranked in Fitchburg State history for all-time receiving touchdowns.
After the penalty, it's 1st and 10 Falcons at the 34-yard line. Catterton under pressure, throws to the near side for Oquendo. He's got it at the 25. gets across the 20 and ducks out of bounds.
Whatever linebacker was responsible for Oquendo must have been blitzing, because this is a huge little dump off out of the backfield for the Falcons, which is going to get them really close to the Jonah Costa field goal range.
Take another look at it again. Oquendo to the left side from this angle. There's really nobody on him. Very soft defense downfield. Almost a prevent. Now back to live action. Catterton's throw over the middle is caught by Sahir Gomez. That'll tie him for 10th all-time on the Falcon reception list. He's got a first down, stop the clock, and I assume Fitchburg will take their last timeout here.
Timeout! Timeout, Fitchburg.
Timeout called by Fitchburg State with 8 seconds left. Cam, is this 2 shots for the end zone or 1 for the end zone and then a field goal?
It's interesting. I think it all depends on how long shot number 1 takes, and as you often hear, but it is important to reiterate, do not take a sack. You are out of timeouts. You have at least 3. You have 3 on the board. I trust Jonah Costa's steady leg. You can't take a sack. You cannot end this half with 0 on the board if you're the Falcons here.
This is far from the first time he's played the position, but it does come into the back of your mind. You got a freshman quarterback, Colby Catterton.
And you've got to think in the huddle, or at least in some regard, there is an illusion to get this ball out quick, ensure it's right here.
You see Garrett Delakiai, the offensive coordinator there, obviously a very experienced quarterback here at Fitchburg State. You have to assume that one of the things he's imparting on Colby Catterton right now, do not take a sack. First and goal for the Falcons from the 8-yard line with 8 seconds left to play. Motion to the far side goes Oquendo. Catterton looking left, doesn't like it, throws over the middle for the end zone, swatted down, incomplete. Great defense there by Elijah Neal. That play took exactly 4 seconds off the clock. Fitchburg State will not try to get tricky with it. Here comes the field goal unit.
Yeah, it's actually a great look. Great look to see here. He gives this guy a chance. All things considered, it was a quick pass as well. And I think
the other guys are good too, I think. I don't think anybody did anything wrong on that. I think Neal made a great play.
Exactly that. That's just good football on both sides. And I agree, you probably don't take one more shot here with that play taking 4 seconds.
Jonah Costa from the right hash mark will attempt a 26-yard field goal to put the Falcons on the board. His kick is up. It is short. Off the crossbar, no good. That might have taken a deflection at the line, but the Falcons come away with nothing.
I'm very intrigued to see this replay, because you very, very rarely see a ball trajectory that short. Crossbar on a 26-yard field goal when Jonah Costa's career long is 39.
Can tell you, the folks, that Fitchburg High School has scored in their game against Sharon. Sharon has also scored again. It is 30-6 at halftime. But here at Elliott Field, Fitchburg State has just missed a field goal. Bridgewater State will come out and just take a knee to run off the 1 remaining second on the clock. 14-0 is the score as we go to halftime. Cam, you mentioned this felt like a very close, very defensive struggle type of ball game. First quarter, completely scoreless. Bridgewater State able to get in the end zone a couple of times in the second, but overall, I've been very impressed with the play of Fitchburg's defense.
Once again, I mean, this is essentially the 8th game of the season where we can say we've been impressed by the Falcons' defense. It's giving them a legitimate shot to stay competitive in this game. I think the obvious thing now is the offense needs to just develop a good drive, get in the end zone. It's obviously easier said than done.
We saw them open up the passing game a little bit on that last possession in particular. Go downfield a couple of times, take your shots. Even if those don't result in completions, I think it's still a good idea to do it every once in a while, just because it opens up that short and intermediate game.
I would agree. The only thing on those shot plays is make sure they're an overthrow, if anything, because that turnover by Rocky right as he came in was particularly frustrating, as the Falcons were still just continued to stall out. And I'd love to see the passing attack develop, and it'd be interesting. I assume we'll see Catterton for the second half. Maybe Rocky Marcatelli finds his way in again.
Catterton did have some success on that final drive. Obviously, the leash for Marcitelli was very short. There was something that they didn't like, whether it was just the fact of the underthrow and the interception, or maybe something they didn't like just with the way he's running the offense. Again, Rocky Marcitelli is coming back from an injury. Might be something there. I think given how quickly they went back to Catterton and the fact that Catterton had some success at the end of the half, we're going to see him at quarterback again for at least the start of the third quarter.
I would agree, especially with that drive. It was essentially a couple inches from this being a 14-7 game. You know,
very close to getting on the board.
It really was, and it's very frustrating in the Falcons locker room right now, but there are some positives to derive, and if Catterton can really start completing some of these passes more consistently, you'll definitely have Bridgewater's defense more on a swivel.
14-0 is the score. Falcons will get the ball to begin the third quarter. For now, Cam and I will take the halftime break with the players. Folks, we encourage you to come on back to Elliott Field for the remaining second half of this game. It's Fitchburg State University football on FATV. Back here at Elliott Field on the campus of Fitchburg State University. 14-0 Bridgewater State leads over Fitchburg State. I'm John Gugerty, joined by Cam Manette. Cam will take a look at some of the highlights of the first half. It was a defensive struggle for most of the first 30 minutes of gameplay.
You know, in a sense, John, it's nothing we didn't expect, per se. We knew it was going to be a heavily defensive battle. A lot of it's just stemmed down to Fitchburg not being able to get much going on offense.
See there an interception by Jan Val, short-circuited one of the Bridgewater State drives, but Fitchburg State's offense, especially in the first quarter and into the second, just not able to get anything going.
No, and although the defense for Fitchburg has relinquished 14 points, it has still been a very impressive effort.
There's a good crowd on hand here at Elliott Field. This was a nice catch along the sidelines for the Bears, set them up. Then we changed ends for the second quarter. Bridgewater State got into the end zone for the first time.
Yeah, that catch you just saw was a big 3rd and 5 conversion by the Bears.
Andrew Kloutman with the touchdown there. He has one score. The other score came right here. Isaiah Wright, leading rusher thus far for Bridgewater State. 10 carries, 50 yards, and a touchdown for him. Fitchburg State, on the other hand, Cam, they generously, accurately, they can't run like at all. It's been bad.
Unfortunately not, and that is such a big component that's missing of any good offense. If you look at the statistics after the first half, Fitchburg has 9 rushing attempts for a total of 8 yards. Yes, they are averaging, what would that be, 0.91 yards per attempt. That
sounds about right, but they did get some yardage through the air. We saw the tremendous catch by Sahir Gomez. Unfortunately, right at the end of the half, Jonah Costa unable to convert the field goal, bouncing off the crossbar, coming up just a little bit short, so Fitchburg State scoreless after 2 quarters of play.
Yeah, unfortunately, John, that field goal almost felt like a microcosm for the whole first half. The offense at times showed it was there, came up just short. But what's great about football is there's 2 halves to determine this one, and 14 points is certainly not unattainable, as the Falcons do have the ball to start the second half.
Something that may be worth keeping an eye on. I know this is something that is regularly done. You do need to have backups at every position. But as the players are warming up for the second half, I can't help but notice Hunter Sands kicking field goals in the right side end zone, getting plenty of height. Just something to keep an eye on should a field goal or extra point situation come up again for Fitchburg State. They do have Hunter Sands as a possibility.
I will say, John, that would take away from the Hunter the Punter title. I don't know if
he'll
his pay grade.
He'll just have to change his name to Healed Goal Kicker. It's fine. We can make it work. We already call him Kickoff Guy sometimes because he is the kickoff guy. He kicked off to begin the game.
Something, a part of Hunter's game that often gets overlooked sometimes is his ability to celebrate after a nice punt or a kick. If you take a look at him, if you're ever here at Elliott Field, do yourself a favor, take a look at 41 after a big punt, and you'll definitely see, as I would say, an emote.
Does he floss? Is that it? Are we talking?
I don't know. Maybe next time I'm at practice, I'll have to pick his brain on what the go-to celebrations are post-big kick.
A lot of punters like the golf shot, right?
Oh,
I saw Pat
100%.
McAfee do that, but he certainly didn't, premiere it or anything. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. Pioneer.
Ah, yes, that's actually. You know, I wonder if Hunter Sands maybe can pioneer a new one. We'll have to keep a camera on him maybe.
But Hunter Sands will not be kicking off. It will be Bridgewater State booting it away as we get ready to begin the second half. Mason Viets, the kicker for the Bears.
Remember, the Falcons got crafty on their last kickoff return doing the little reverse. It got called back due to a block in the back, though.
Viets puts his left foot through it, and we are underway in the third quarter. Kickoff taken by Easy McKnight at about the 4-yard line. He'll try the near sideline. He's got KB in front of him. Blocking doesn't really develop, and McKnight is run out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. That's where Fitchburg State's offense will take over. Now, one thing that's going to be interesting to note, Cam, is the quarterback position. We saw Colby Catterton start for Fitchburg State. He was replaced around the midpoint of the second quarter by Rocky Marchitelli, but just for one series. Marchitelli threw an interception and then was pulled, and it is Colby Catterton coming back out. Catterton, the freshman from Shirley, starting his second game at quarterback for Fitchburg State. He'll go from the shotgun here on first down. Pass is batted at the line. Caught. Brought down well behind the line of scrimmage. Catch was made by Andrew Gendron, but that pass was batted up in the air at the line and it threw the timing off.
Yeah, it ends up going down as a 1 or 2 yard gain. You'd rather honestly drop the pass, but you see through the quick Catterton throw, that's where the Falcons are looking for, trying to develop a quick passing game and hopefully get Catterton in a rhythm.
Credit to Mark DiGirolamo getting his hands on that ball, batting it up in the air. Now on second down for the Falcons. Catterton to the air again, under pressure, rolls to his right, still looking downfield, signals downfield, tries to spin out of a sack, but he cannot do so. Brought down in the backfield by Dakari Rodriguez. Rodriguez, the junior from Dorchester.
After all we talked about the Falcons offense and some of the inconsistencies in the first half, the first two plays both go backwards and you're faced with a 3rd and 17.
That time the coverage was good downfield. Catterton just unable to find an open man. Now faced with about 3rd and 17. Motion man to the near side is Kimball. Catterton will throw again, under pressure again, and sacked again. 3rd time today, 2nd play in a row. Colby Catterton hits the turf, and Bridgewater State forces a punt.
Yeah, and the problem is when you are in definite pass situations, defensive coordinators and D-linemen, they start festering and they are, we are going to tee off and get this sack. And unfortunately, the Falcons are now punting from over 4th and 20.
DiGirolamo was there. Thomas Rocha was there. It's another 3 and out for Fitchburg. Hunter Sands on to boot it away. Sands gets his leg through this one, high, spiraling, bounces at the 45, takes a good Falcon roll. It'll be marked dead at about the 43-yard line of Bridgewater State. Bears will take over 1st and 10 there, 12:48 to play here in the third quarter.
For those wondering, the celebration after that one was a simple bow and arrow sign.
Oh, okay.
And it was a solid punt.
It was a good punt.
Actually.
Good solid punt deserves a good solid celebration.
I would agree.
He's still doing it a little bit. He's got the walk going. He's calling to the sideline.
Oh, I love Hunter.
1st and 10 for the Bears at their own 44-yard line. Fake the jet sweep, handoff. No, straight up the middle on the direct snap is the backup quarterback, Everson Quisanga. Quisanga turns the quarter into Falcon territory, and he is finally gained tackled at the Fitchburg 40-yard line. Manages to keep his legs moving and gets another yard. It's a 17-yard run and a 1st down for Everson Quisanga.
It was actually a nice cut and read by Quisanga. After not seeing him a ton last week, his presence has definitely been felt, and Falcons were fortunate enough to be starting defensively with the ball on the opposite side of the 50. Immediately, they have cut into Falcons territory.
Quisanga had 13 yards on 3 carries in the first half. He has more than that on his first carry of the second. 1st down for the Bears. Handoff goes up the middle, breaking through tackles into the second level, getting a 1st down and more. Believe that's Andrew Kloutman who had the carry.
Andrew Kloutman.
Kloutman is all the way down to the 26-yard line. A great run for him.
And now I'm calling upon the interior 7 of the Fitchburg Falcons defense. You just got gashed for 2 big runs. Your offense came out and unfortunately laid a stinker to start the half. This is very, very risky territory now. You got to make a stand.
First and 10 for the Bears. It has been Kwasanga at quarterback for all 3 plays thus far. This time they finally do go with the jet sweep. They faked it half a dozen times, and the time they finally go for it, it gets 4 yards. It's a decent carry.
And John, I think Kwasanga being in there at quarterback just goes to show what Bridgewater's mindset is. It is run the ball downhill. Kwasanga only 2 pass completions up to this point in the season. He is predominantly in there to run the ball. He's a much more versatile option. As we actually see him coming out here, though.
And we see him going back to the sideline. Joseph Doobie Garrett taking back over at quarterback. Doobie Garrett 6 of 18 for 60 yards in the first half. Comes back in at quarterback on 2nd down and 6. Fake handoff, pass to the near side is complete. Diving forward across the 15-yard line. It's a first down reception. Mo Holly Mitchell. Called his name a bunch of times today. The senior from Lakewood, Colorado, has another first down.
From the Fitchburg 15.
All spotted at the Fitchburg 15-yard line. Play action fake and the handoff up the middle for Kloutman again. And to your point, Cam, Bridgewater State has really gone heavy on the run game.
And unfortunately, why wouldn't you? I mean, the reality is Joseph Doobie Garrett really has not had a prolific passing day. There was a big 22-yard reception to keep a drive going, but to this point, 7 completions, I believe. It's not exactly like he's been the biggest threat. It's the run.
Keeps the clock rolling. On 2nd down and 6, it's another handoff to Kloutman. Pretty much the same exact play. Fake the jet sweep, handoff up the middle. Close to the line to gain. A flag comes in well after the play. It's the 2nd or 3rd time today we've seen pushing and shoving and a dead ball flag come in. Let's see if we see anything happening at the end of this replay. We get the tackle. Whistles blow. Didn't see anything.
I'm guessing another Falcons personal foul, unfortunately.
After the play, dead ball, unnecessary roughness, 27 on the defense. The result of the play is a 1st and goal, 1st down.
John, may I offer some silver lining is when you're at your own 7-yard line, a foul of that nature is only like 3-4 yards costly instead of 15.
It's still not what you want. Harvey Early Jr. called for the penalty and brought to the sideline pretty much right away. Those 2 facts probably related, I would guess. 1st and goal now for the Bears. Doobie Garrett still in at quarterback. He has Kloutman to his right. Kloutman gets the carry on 1st down, bounces it to the right side, loses the football. Pigskin is loose in the end zone. It's either a touchdown or a touchback. It is a touchdown, Bridgewater State.
Wow.
The ball did come loose.
Kloutman got the carry. I'm pretty sure the ball was out before he crossed.
It appeared so.
And then a Bear fell on top of it in the end zone. 6 points for Bridgewater State. We'll take another look. Kloutman gets the carry, bounces it out to the right side. Ball's loose there. That's definitely a fumble. And then we just can't see somewhere at the bottom of that pile, somebody in a white shirt is on top of the ball, and they get 6 points. Extra point is up, and it is good. 21-0 Bridgewater State after a huge, huge break for the Bears.
Yeah, it seemed like Manny Cano had the turnover for the Falcons, and this was going to be, once again, another huge opportunity maybe for the Falcons to get back in it, and sometimes the ball just doesn't roll your way.
It's got to be a killer for Fitchburg State. You go back to 2 minutes left in the half, you've got the ball, and you know you're getting it coming out of the locker room. You get 1st and goal, come away with no points on the missed field goal. 3 and out on your first drive. Bridgewater State scores. And now, you're certainly weren't counting on being tied, but you were thinking maybe we'll be tied in a few minutes here. Instead, it is 21-0.
And what causes so much even more frustration, and we started talking about it previously, is the defensive coordinator over on that Bears sideline is starting to call games, starting to call blitzes, and he has got to be salivating knowing that a quarterback who's only making his second career start is going to have to throw if the Falcons are going to be successful here.
If the Falcons are to get back in this game, Cam, you mentioned that one of their biggest weapons has been Easy McKnight. Maybe it starts with something on the kickoff. We've already seen them try the reverse once. Is that something you pull back out of the bag of tricks again?
Certainly an interesting idea. You really need anything to spark something here. Just a question is, how many fakes do you have in your bag if you've already shown one?
Mason Vietz is ready. His hand goes up, and here he comes. Long, deep kick goes through the hands of KB at his own 6. Emilio KB will try to make something happen, ducks out of a tackle, spins at the 20, and KB will be brought down at the 24-yard line. While the Falcon offense comes back on the field, we'll take this time to thank the underwriters who bring this and every remote production to you here on FATV.
Fitchburg Access Television's remote productions are brought to you in part by Rollstone Bank and Trust, Acme Carpet One, All One Credit Union, the Sentinel and Enterprise, Minuteman Press, and Unitil.
First and 10, Fitchburg State at their own 23-yard line. Colby Catterton takes the shotgun snap, hands off up the middle. It's Anthony Oquendo with the carry for the Falcons. He gets, well, number 25 gets to the 25. Gain of a couple for Oquendo. It'll be second down and 8.
And big 75, Kevin Vieira is down after that play.
We've already seen one offensive lineman go down with injury for Fitchburg State. Xavier Aguiar left early on in the contest with what appeared to be a right leg injury. Saw Aguiar on the sidelines on crutches earlier. He will play no further part in this contest. Kevin Vieira at least able to get up and walk off under his own power. You see Coach Izzy Abraham there providing emotional support, if not necessarily physical support. I'm sure if he needed to, he could.
Oh, I believe it. Coach Izzy Abraham will actually take this quick moment to say, what a job he has done, not only turning this program into a positive direction, but really controlling the respect and the sheer respect guys have for him in the room. His presence is one like I've never seen in this program.
Second down and 8 coming up. Kimball comes in motion once again. Catterton's pass to the right side is caught. Zahir Gomez breaking into the top 10 all-time in receptions for Fitchburg State receivers. 8-yard gain and a first down for him. And Cam, I want to get back to your point about Izzy Abraham. One of the things we've talked about with the style of recruiting that he's looked for is he almost intentionally targets guys who need a second chance, guys with, to use his words, a chip on their shoulder. And when you build a locker room like that, I think you need a group of guys who have a ton of respect for their coach.
Exactly that, as we see this run here.
First down handoff for the Falcons. Across the 40 to about the 42-yard line. It's Anthony Oquendo with another good run.
Yeah, nice to see Oquendo rip off a 9-yard run here, which has been not what we've seen much of.
And Oquendo really, to step in real quick, Oquendo kind of exemplifies that, guys with a chip on their shoulder, guys who needed a second chance.
Yeah, to your previous point, Coach Izzy has a true, genuine read on what success is in this league. It's not always the flashy players, the great guys out of high school. It's oftentimes the guys who can play. They just don't necessarily have the film. They don't have the look. But this, he sells them, is your home. This is the place where you're going to get those reps. We see it with Oquendo. We see it with a lot of transfers. Coach Izzy understands recruiting.
And Oquendo, almost the opposite. He was a tremendous high school player, but it had been a few years as he gets the carry here, picks up the first down across the 45-yard line. Oquendo, we saw for years and years, was the best, sometimes the only weapon Fitchburg High School had. You thought, when that guy hits college, he's going to be a force. It didn't quite come together for him. He went to Franklin Pierce, didn't get the reps that he was looking for, wasn't playing college ball for a year or two there, but he's gotten a second chance, he's gotten the opportunity, and when he's been healthy, he's been producing on the field for the Falcons.
Yeah, exactly that. And to the point we had about Coach Izzy, this entire coaching staff, guys have their opportunity here.
1st and 10, Catterton's pass batted down at the line. Once again, Jorge Aquino was there. Mark I'm going to get this guy's name right, I promise. DiGirolamo. DiGirolamo, even. Number 30 was there. How about that?
I was just about to note the fact this is, I think, Jorge Aquino's 3rd pass breakup, if I'm not mistaken, as a defensive lineman. To be impacting 3 passes like that, that's almost J.J. Watt-esque. If you are going to get to the quarterback, go impact the play in a different way.
2nd down, 10. Aquendo goes in motion. This time they throw it out to him. Quick pass to him, get it in his hands, see if he can make some guys miss. He does just that into Bridgewater State territory, across the 45-yard line. He's very close to the line to gain. I think they're going to spot him a yard shy, however.
Still a little short pass to Aquendo here. I love that for both him and Catterton. And Aquendo, way to get 9 yards on this. I was almost thinking you're going to get 4 or 5 at best.
Now 3rd down and 1. A little bit of trouble at the snap, but the pass is out, and it's a completion. Caught, and they will move the chains. 1st down, Falcons.
Another similar quick out thrown to Catterton, this time to Kimball. And when you have effective runs starting to develop, these are so much more effective. You know, the safeties can't sit down on them just as greatly, and I'm very, very happy actually to see these short plays coming to fruition.
And if you hit enough of those shorties, you get the defensive backs coming up to the line. There's nobody more than 15 yards downfield. Now might be a really good time. There's nobody more than 10 yards downfield for Bridgewater State right now. This is a chance to go deep maybe, but instead passes out, and it is batted at the line, Cam. You'll never guess who got his hand on it.
I mean, wow, he's unironically going to be up there in the conference in terms of PBUs after this.
Jorge Aquino, for what we believe is the 4th time today, getting his hand on the ball. We were told before the game, hey, look out for this guy. 65 is a big part of this Bridgewater State defense, and he's showing us why.
Yeah, and as we alluded to, leading the conference in both sacks and tackles for a loss coming into today, and he hasn't had one of those yet, but great players make their impact felt regardless, just sometimes in different ways.
2nd down and 10 now for Fitchburg State. Catterton deep drop, now steps up, he'll take it himself. First time we've seen him scramble today. He lunges forward to the 40. It's a gain of about 3, it'll be 3rd and 7.
I'm impressed and happy to see Catterton settling in here. You'll see the pressure really forces him to step up, and you don't always have that big play right in front of you. Salvaging 2-3 yards, making a more manageable 3rd down is what you're going to have to be happy with, especially as you'll have 2 chances to convert this.
3rd and, well, they back him up a yard, call it 3rd and 8 coming up for Fitchburg State. They need to get to the 33-yard line. They're at the 41. Catterton from the shotgun. Under pressure from his right, and he is going to be dragged down from behind. Jorge Aquino gets home for the first time today. Drags Catterton all the way back into Fitchburg territory. And Cam, you were saying it might be 2-down territory for Fitchburg State. One big play from one big impactful player, and now it's a punt.
Unfortunately, just that, John. And is it an announcer jinx to say he didn't have a sack and then he immediately has a sack?
Just a little. I think we can take a little bit of the blame for that.
Yeah, but Aquino really dominated the drive on that one.
Hunter Sands on to kick it away once again. This time a very high spiraling kick, angled for the sideline, bounces at the 1, but it does go through the end zone for a touchback. Sands had the opportunity to pin the Bears deep, and he tried to do so. Got a little bit too much into it, and it goes for a touchback. You see him, give a little bit of a shrug to Izzy Abraham as he comes to the sideline, like, I tried.
That one was quite close to being the textbook coffin corner. Hunter has actually given the Falcons, outside of maybe 1 or 2s, he's given a great job flipping the field. He's been light of some tough situations.
He's been a consistent part of you don't want to say the offense, but there have been times when the punting game has led to a defensive stop that gives the offense a short field. It's something that has really helped the Falcons over his time with them. Bridgewater State's offense back out on the field. Isaiah Wright gets the carry, bounces out to the far side. He's brought down at the 20, call it the 25-yard line, maybe the 26. It'll be second down.
Yeah, John, and something that is so impressive to me from this Fitchburg Falcon defense is their ability to continue to play. You know, it's 21-0 with 3.5 to go. This game is certainly not over, but I guarantee if it was 42-0, winning or losing, they'd be swarming to every single play as there is another penalty here.
You get 3 different penalty flags. Maybe a substitution foul. Heard somebody say that somebody had 12.
Seems like Austin Lassiter is sneakily getting off the field.
Before the snap, 12 men on defense, 5-yard penalty. The result of the penalty is a first down.
So the Falcons had too many men on the field. They don't even let them snap the ball under those conditions. The officials see it. They just blow the whistle, throw the flag. It gives the Bears 5 yards and a first down.
From their own 31.
First and 10 now for Bridgewater State. Send a man in motion to the far side. They'll hand off to Wright. No, it's a play fake to the near side. Pass is caught. That's Enzo Bastone with the catch. It's across the 40 to the 41-yard line. That'll be good for a Bridgewater first down.
Had that reception for the Bears. Good for first down.
And we know that Bastone is in there more for his blocking ability, but when you're in there so much to block, these play fakes, these play actions develop so perfectly at the end of the day, and big play for the Bears here.
Gets them out to their own 42-yard line. Bridgewater leading by 3 scores. Looking to take as much time off the clock as possible, maybe just put this one away. Wright gets the carry on first down, breaks into the second level, into Falcon territory. He's got another Bridgewater State first down. This Falcon rush defense has been tested early and often in this game. They were equal to the task for most of the first half, but maybe starting to wear down a little bit.
Yeah, you'll see this left side of the Bridgewater line just gets a great push here. Forces the Falcons' interior line inside, which creates a great edge. And honestly, you've got to start wondering if the fatigue aspect, we know these Falcons, especially defensively, have been on the field for so long. And we're almost at the 4th quarter.
Bears are at the Falcon 46-yard line. It's another handoff to Wright. This time he's hit at the line.
Isaiah Wright.
Falls forward for a gain of about 3. It'll be second down and 7 coming up for Bridgewater State.
Yeah, so that one's only a gain of 3, but what I've seen a lot of, or I should say not seen a lot of, is quick disengagements from the D linemen where they're shedding the block and getting in on the play. That's part of why Bridgewater's featured such success in the run game, is this push they're getting. And part of that's honestly the lack of Aiden Tomacheski.
Second and 7. Send a man in motion, play fake to him. Doobie Garrett under a lot of pressure, throws to the near side, wide open receiver. Catch is made, brought down well downfield. That's Colton Johnson with another big catch.
Big gain for Colton
Johnson was so wide open. I think if Doobie Garrett was able to step into this ball perfectly, it would have gone for a touchdown.
I agree with you. You'll see on the replay here, he does a nice job stepping up, evading the pressure, but we were talking about the presence these tight ends have in this offense. It's for plays like this when you lose track of them.
Gets down to the Fitchburg 21-yard line. Stone goes in motion to the right side again. Handoff to the left for Wright. He's hit at the 21.
Isaiah Wright.
Brought down there, but not before a gain of 5 yards.
Harton and Santana combined for the Fitchburg tackle. Gain of 5 on the play.
Just a quick, simple off tackle left. Maybe a bit of a counter step from Wright when he took the handoff. But it's another successful run for Bridgewater State as they maybe have one more play in the 3rd quarter. I think they might just be content to run this one out.
Yeah, 21-0. You'll definitely run it out there. It's gonna be tough for the Falcons here. If you stop them, force 3, it's still a 3-possession game, John. Crazier things have happened.
I imagine there's a lot of talking. It is true. It is true that it is a 3-possession game, and it is possible for teams to score 3 times in the quarter. These are all things that happen. When you're on the sideline, when you're in this situation, when at the very least you can feel it slipping away from you, is there that kind of talking yourself into it, trying to get that optimism going, trying to keep the motivation? Or do you as a player hear someone say that and just go, yeah, come on, buddy?
Yeah, so, I'm a Falcon at heart. Up here, maybe it'll provide the more optimistic standpoint. The reality is, on the field, you have to just lock in on what's in front of you. The play in front of you is the most important. You're trying not to worry about the behind the scenes, what you need, what needs to not happen. If you hear it, you just got to out one ear, or in one ear, out the other. Out one ear, in the other, for all I know. But
so you're not really thinking like big picture game situation. You're trying to focus, trying to compartmentalize, trying to get it down to what is the play? What is the down and distance?
That.
What do I need to do?
Because as I've learned with my time here at Fitchburg State is how much of a team sport this is. You're not going to be the one to get all 21, 24 points back. What you can do, though, is your absolute best and control your energy and your attitude for this specific play. Do it to the best of your ability. If all 11 guys do that, you have a chance.
It's sometimes all you can ask, and sometimes all that you need. Falcons need good energy, good attitude, and a few good breaks if they're able to get back into this one.
And what's tough is they've had a couple breaks on the goal line. In both touchdown drives, or 2 touchdown drives, there were fumbles. If they go the Falcons' way, maybe we're in a 7-0 ball game right now.
Might be something worth noting. We do see Devin LeBron warming up on the sideline. Could just be keeping warm.
Devin LeBron, the Dean College transfer, actually.
Falcons have had Colby Catterton at quarterback for most of this game. They did bring in Rocky Marchitelli for one series. LeBron presumably the 3rd string today. It is a final at historic Crocker Field. Sharon victorious over the Red Raiders, a score of 46-6. So we welcome those of you who have turned over for the 4th quarter here. We're underway with a play action fake and a throw for the end zone. That pass is high and incomplete. Going down to the turf as the ball sailed over his head was Ramar Robinson.
Well, John, if we're lucky, Dan Bullock might drive here and join us for the for the rest of the 4th quarter. He's the type of guy to do that.
He is. He's also, he's got to apply all of his technical know-how in helping Nate Glenning break down the equipment. So, yeah, he'll probably be here in about 5 minutes. Sorry, I get one pot shot at Dan when he's not here. That was my one. 3rd down and 6 coming up for the Bears. It's another handoff. Right, gets to about the 15-yard line. I think, Cam, the fact that Bridgewater State went to the ground there is indicative of the fact that they very much planned on going for it on 4th down.
Yeah, I thought they might, but we see Nassau coming out. They might be content with giving the field goal try a shot here and hopefully putting it up 24-0. You got to take this as a win if you're the Falcons. It's still a 3-score game. Not that you want to overthink that, as we alluded to, but something to keep in mind.
Joey Nassau, the senior kicker from Hopewell Junction, New York, on to attempt what will be a 32-yard field goal. Snaps a little high, but it's down. Good hold. Kick is up, and it is good. Nassau puts it through the uprights. 24-0 in favor of the Bears.
Yeah, Zaire McKnight, you might see on the replay. I thought he might come off the line just in time. As you see him on the left side to get a hand in there, he actually has 3 blocked kicks up to this point in the season. He is prolific at doing so, just out of his reach.
We've seen Easy McKnight make those blocks before. We saw famous one blocked, returned for a touchdown, called back because the timing was just off. That time, not quite able to get the block. Joey Nassau able to put it through. We do want to thank Joey, by the way. He helped us greatly going over the roster and helping us get the pronunciations for all of the Bears. So if anyone from Bridgewater State, by the way, if anyone in Bridgewater surrounding environs is watching and saying, hey, those Chuckle you-know-whats got my kid's name wrong, it's Joey Nassau's fault. Okay?
Exactly.
So at the same time, we're thanking Joey, but also throwing him under the bus. If we've gotten any names wrong, it's Joey Nasso's fault.
We're just covering our grounds. I mean,
That's
at
right.
the end of the day. But yeah, to your point, Joey Nasso, pregame, did us a huge favor allowing us to go through the pronunciation guide with him and ensuring we have everything ready.
Mason Viets on to kick it away. KB and McKnight set back deep to return for the Falcons. Fitchburg down 24 points. They need to make something happen quickly if they're going to stay in this one. Easy takes it in at about the 15-yard line. He'll try the right side. Dances out of a tackle at the 30. Tries to reverse field, but he is spun down at about the 40-yard line. Good return for Easy McKnight. Sets Fitchburg up with some of the better field position they've had today.
He's such a weapon. At the end of the day, his ability to find the best case scenario, as you see here, I almost thought he was going to break through this on a second effort. Oh, just by the back of his undershirt there, he's getting pulled.
And we've seen Easy McKnight obviously as a tremendous weapon in special teams and on the offensive side of the ball. He transitioned to defense while you were still there. Were you able to see how that went for him, how that transition was?
Yeah, I actually was, and I give him a lot of credit, not just for doing so well in it, but being so open to it. He's such a positive guy. He never questioned the fact he was moving sides of the ball. So professional.
Catterton to pass on 1st and 10. Pass intended for Emilio KB is incomplete. Jonah Familia was there providing the coverage for the Bears.
Familia broke that up. 2nd and 10.
Catterton just tried to get it out to the right side. Familia reaches in, swats it down, has a few words for Mr. KB afterward. He was satisfied with his effort. And to be fair, he should be. He did good. He did good.
Gotta give credit.
Give him credit. He did good. 2nd down and 10 now for the Falcons. Catterton looks to his left, doesn't like it, under pressure, rolls to his right, still rolling, sets and throws, and he threw it to a Bear coach on the sideline.
And a way late hit, in my opinion, and I think the flag was thrown for it. Catterton got hit well after he released that. He made a nice play. There's nothing he had on that. It's going to be a free 15 for the Falcons.
Saw Catterton pull up right at the sideline and get rid of that ball, and then he got walloped.
Dead ball, personal foul, late hit out of bounds. 16 on the defense. The result of the play is a 1st down.
All right, so in the spirit of fairness, you remember how Jonah Familia did good on that last play? Jonah did bad.
Yeah, 100%. This is just not needed at the end of the day.
Yeah, well after Catterton had gotten rid of the ball. I don't think it's a dead ball foul. I think it's just a late hit, but it is well after Catterton got rid of the ball. It was downfield. There was no need to whack the guy, but he whacked the guy, and you can't do that.
And that could be big. All I'm going to say is that gives the Falcons a new set of downs. Big play or two, two-possession game.
1st and 10, Fitchburg State at the Bridgewater 44. Catterton wants to go long to the near side, one-on-one. Pass is incomplete. Was trying to hit J.C. Ham downfield.
There was some hand fighting, John. That's all I'm going to say on that.
Daniel Pierre, we believe, was on the coverage for the Bears. We'll take another look down here from our left end zone camera. We'll be on the right side of your frame, just a little bit too long and incomplete. Now 2nd down and 10 for the Falcons. Catterton will throw again, this time to the right side, and that pass is incomplete. A little too far for Emilio KB.
Well, John, on that last incompletion where there maybe have been PI, I usually base my refereeing decisions on what the fans that are right in front of us say, and I heard that's a flag, so let's go with flag.
You also heard people shouting, throw the flag! 3rd and 10 coming up for Fitchburg State.
And we've seen Bridgewater play this drop back coverage. I've got to think you go short here. Try and make a little more manageable on 4th down.
Play fake. Catterton rolls to his right. Gets rid of it to his right. That pass is picked off on the sideline. Intercepted right in front of the Bridgewater State bench. Making the pick for the Bears is 29. That's Brandon Medeiros. Medeiros, the senior DB from Somerset. See Catterton again
Bears.
right at
Bears
the sideline,
offense
had to get rid of it,
10.
throws it. I think he was intending to hit KB.
Yeah.
There were 3 different Bears right there, and Medeiros came away with the ball.
I love Catterton's effort. I love the fact he wants to make a play, but it's third down, not fourth, and going across your body like that is one of the, as they say, cardinal sins of a quarterback, and he'd love to live the fight for another down there. He's a young quarterback, though.
Bears offense back out on the field, leading by 24 points. Their objective is clear, and they will make no bones about it. They hand off straight up the middle on first down. The gain of about 7. It'll be second and short coming up for Bridgewater State. Take another look at the end of this play. I think the ball carrier, Cam, just got crumpled up.
Yeah.
By the tacklers coming down on him. He's slow to get up.
Fortunately, yeah, he's coming off the field now. This is, at the end of the day, it's a vicious game. It's, as Coach Maxwell Schiavone, the offensive line coach of the Falcons, would say, legal violence. And that's a great opportunity to be able to do so.
Andrew Kloutman has had a pretty good game for Bridgewater State. He'll head to the sideline. We'll keep an eye on him. Hope he's able to get back in.
Bears second and 3. From their own 44.
Got a gain of 7. It'll be second down and 3. Isaiah Wright back in the backfield for Bridgewater State. You got to think he's going to get the ball.
Most definitely here.
He does indeed.
Isaiah
Right
Wright.
at the line, plunges forward, and he does have the first down.
Yeah, John, you have to imagine it's going to be the Kloutman and Wright show from here on out.
Manuel Cano with the tackle for the
And
Falcons.
maybe you see a little
First down yard.
Kusanga mixed in there, but
Bears first and 10 from their own
Bears are
48.
obviously in pretty handily control with 12:44 and a running clock and the 3 scores. Something is worth watching, though, is how hard this Falcons defense fights. Something I have to attest to is regardless of the score, this defense swarms the ball like no other defense in the league.
First and 10 for the Bears at their own 48-yard line. 12 and a half minutes to play in this game. Play action fake and a pass is incomplete. Hit the receiver in the hands and then a hit to that receiver knocked it loose. A little surprised, Cam, to see Bridgewater State go to the air on first down there.
Yeah, John, and I'm not sure what exactly the play called in the huddle is. For all we know, Dubé Garrett has the option to throw or hand it here based on what, and I actually think that is the play. They had James Cahoon, who was such an efficient quarterback out of that zone read with Adam Couch a couple of years ago, and you've got to think that play call is just passed down and maybe the wrong read. I think the coaches will tell him that.
Maybe for the game situation, if not the
Exactly.
situation of the play. Now on second and 10, it is a play fake. Dubé Garrett will throw again, and again it's incomplete. This time going over the middle, intended for Josh Registry.
Yeah, and they're actually getting decent looks here. To your point, it's more so the situation is why I don't believe you should be throwing the ball here. It's not necessarily, as you'll see on the replay here, it's not necessarily a bad look, but it stops the clock. It just does the Falcons a big favor on this third down now.
Yeah, and Fitchburg State's not going to take their timeouts this early, obviously, so you're essentially just giving Fitchburg State a free minute and a half with those 2 plays going for no yards and stopping the clock,
Yeah,
most
John,
importantly.
they're just giving us more airtime.
Third and 10, it's another play fake. Dubé Garrett now under pressure, and he is spun down and sacked. Hit in the backfield. First sack of the day, I believe, for the Falcons.
Yeah, they've got Harden and Thornton each getting in on that, and you saw Dubé Garrett run out that zone read very slowly here, and very questionable after he takes a sack. What does benefit the Bears is the clock does run through there.
Oh, there was absolutely no way that Isaiah Wright was going to get anything, and that was because KJ Harden was right on top of him. But the problem for Dubé Garrett was as soon as he pulled the ball back, KJ Harden was right on top of him. Fourth down, the Bears will punt it away. This is a pretty good kick, bounced at the 40, angled out of bounds. Fitchburg State will take it on their own 35-yard line.
We've highlighted the lack of Aiden Tomaszewski, and therefore I think there's been a lack in sacks. At the end of the day, there's been a few tackles for a loss, but the Falcons came in today with 11 sacks on the year, which is they had 16 last year. Prior to last year, though, they hadn't had more than 11 since 2017, or excuse me, 2019.
Getting to the quarterback, something Fitchburg State has had trouble with. They were able to do it on that third down, get a stop, give their offense the ball back. Stop me if you've heard this before, but Fitchburg State does still have a chance to get back into this. They just need to get it going offensively.
As a defensive lineman, I will say this is the most fun time to play because
you
know,
are just pin your ears back
yes.
and go for the quarterback.
You're in your
right?
sprinter's stance, arm up, let's go.
Colby Catterton from the shotgun. Play fake, roll to his right. Looking downfield, he'll throw to his right. A flag comes in behind him, and the pass is incomplete on the sideline. Flag was thrown by the referee, who, if I remember my assignments, is typically looking for holding, and that is the signal.
As they confer about this, and what actually they're conferring about is if the Bridgewater State coaching staff wants to take this 1st and 20 or 2nd and 10. When you're up 3 scores, it's a good win-win.
Yeah, the down could be more valuable, but I think they'll wind up taking the yardage. We'll see.
Holding. 74 on the offense. The penalty will be declined. It'll be 2nd down.
So Josiah Russell, the guilty party. Fitchburg State has suffered a couple of injuries on the offensive line today. Kevin Vieira and Xavier Aguilar both leaving with injury.
Fortunately enough, we see Vieira back out there. But yeah, the Aguilar injury was tough. And one thing I will give a lot of credit to this O-line for is how they're fighting really hard. It's tough when your quarterback is not only young, inexperienced. They're doing a good job for him.
2nd and 10. Catterton quick pass to the far side is complete. Emilio Caby with the catch. Danced out of one tackle. Couldn't get away from the 2nd and 3rd, however. He's brought down after a gain of just a few. Fitchburg State Cam has really gone with this quick, short passing game, particularly with being unable to develop the run game at all. These very, very short completions are almost like long handoffs. They haven't been able to break them for any real gains.
It does feel like that, John, yeah.
Now 3rd and 7, Catterton under pressure, throws to the left side. That pass is intercepted once again on the sideline and returned into Falcon territory across the 40 to the 30, still out of tackle. Now the ball is loose. Loose ball at the 18-yard line. The initial interception was made by Elijah Neal. That would be Neal's 2nd of the day. He then lost it on the return. And Bridgewater State is saying they have it.
Yep, I think that was number 46 with the recovery there.
Derek Fitzgerald, the junior linebacker from Norwell, falling on the loose football after the interception by Elijah Neal.
Well, if there's a negative for Bridgewater, their ball security has been lax. We can say that.
Do you want to dig a DB for ball security? I guess, they teach everybody, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure you, as a D lineman, have been coached in that situation. Hey, if you get the fumble, remember, hang on to the ball.
Yeah, or as you might see Coach Sullivan down here, he'll tell you, pitch it to a fast guy, come on. And I'll be like, Coach, come on, I'm fast enough.
The pick and return sets the Bears back up deep in Falcon territory. They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
And John, as we were talking about earlier, and the game progresses, you have to really hunker down onto what your assignment is, focus on you as the Falcons defense takes the field again in another really adverse situation.
Registry comes in motion. Hand off to the right side. Gains maybe a couple.
Another personal foul penalty on the Falcons. This is going to be more yardage for Bridgewater. This is the Falcons' 4th on the game.
I saw Jaden Ortiz rolling on the turf. I couldn't believe that there would be a flag from it, but
We'll see.
After the play was over, dead ball, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 53 on the defense. Result of the play is a 1st down.
Lewis Robinson guilty of the infraction. We'll take another look, see if we can spot it. It's Sean Brown who makes the carry. He's brought down after a gain of a couple. And then these guys are they're intertwined and okay. All right, nope, you're right. I did not see that initial shove in the back of the helmet. That's unnecessary. You shouldn't ought to do that. First down for the Bears. Handoff goes to the right side. Brown again dances through, and he is in. Touchdown, Bridgewater State. Sean Brown with an 11-yard touchdown run. Makes it 30-0 in favor of the Bears.
Yeah, crafty run there by Brown, getting himself on the board here. And that's really, it's just disheartening when you have another penalty, another big gain, and the Falcons are playing hard, but unfortunately, they're shooting themselves in the foot in some regards.
Joey Nasso on to attempt another extra point. It would be his 4th of the day. Good snap, good hold. And the kick is through. 31-0 in favor of Bridgewater State. It's looking very one-sided on the scoreboard. Perhaps it doesn't feel like a 31-0 game, just in the sense that it doesn't feel like Bridgewater, obviously they've scored the points, and I'm not saying they've cheated or nothing, but you know what I mean. It doesn't feel like they deserve to have 31 points.
Yeah, exactly
It's just,
that. It's
the
almost as if
nothing does feel earned.
it's like Bridgewater's defense has most definitely earned this 0, the donut on the scoreboard to this point, but the Fitchburg Falcons defense does not seem as though they've been playing like a defense, which has given up 31.
And you've been in a situation like this before. You've been on a defensive side that has had certainly not a perfect game, but a good game, a solid effort, and just through short fields, through turnovers, through bad luck, you look up at the scoreboard at the end of the day, and it's 31-0. It's 42-3. It's something ridiculous to something small.
Yeah, and that's why they call football a game where you need to develop a very short-term mindset. And honestly, you have to have a mindset that's only looking forward. As tough as it is to be down 31-0, this Fitchburg State offense can still get on the field and go put up a score here. And you wonder if we're going to see Catterton again, or maybe Rocky. I saw him warming up on the sideline, but at the end of the day, you got 10 minutes and 23 seconds to go play for pride, play for the name on the front of your jersey.
Ball is blown off the tee. We haven't really seen the wind be too much of a factor, maybe on some of the deeper passes, extending it a little bit, but it's kind of died down for the most part. It's coming in bursts.
Exactly that. The one time I can recall it, we'll say maybe the one bad Hunter Sands punt, we'll blame that on wind.
Yes. Also the fact that the ball just rolled off the tee again, so the Bears will need to get someone in there to hold it. That's also the wind's fault.
The wind is playing good defense for us, if anything.
Joseph Reiki will come in and keep the ball in place. Kick is away, taken in by Oreo Fatoki at the 20-yard line. Fatoki's across the 35, and he's brought down at the 40. Fatoki was not one of the deep returners. He was one of the first layer of blockers, but the kick a little bit short, caught by Fatoki, and it results in good field position for Fitchburg State.
I think Fatoki receiving that kick is a byproduct of their respect for easy. Especially at this point, a big return is going to be the one thing to immediately get the Falcons back in there. You pooch it to not one of the deep guys, and the worst case scenario is you start with the ball around midfield.
Cam, you speculated that it might be the case. Rocky Marchitelli back in at quarterback for Fitchburg State, and he will go deep on the first play, looking to the right side for Zahir Gomez. Pass is incomplete. A couple of steps past his intended receiver, Zahir Gomez.
Tyree Davis applying the coverage, 2nd and 10.
Good pocket, Marchitelli able to step up and deliver. Pass was just a little bit too long for Gomez, well defended downfield as well by Tyree Davis.
Yeah, that's Marchitelli's first attempt since the interception. It's interesting he goes deep again.
2nd down and 10 for Fitchburg. Kimball goes in motion. Marchitelli looks that way, now looks downfield. Throw over the middle for Gomez is incomplete. Just a couple steps too tall for his intended receiver. If that sounds familiar, it's because it was a very familiar play.
Rocky must be aware that Zahir is one reception away from 100 on his career. I would love for Zahir to hit that landmark achievement with us here calling the game. And Zahir is your guy. He's your steadiest receiver. I love the idea of going with him, maybe just bring it in a little bit.
Tried to hit him downfield for big gainers. It hasn't been there on 1st and 2nd down. Now 3rd and 10. Marchitelli looks left, doesn't like it, under pressure, gonna get sacked, and there he goes. He looked to his left side, Cam, and he had Joseph Reiki barreling down on him.
Exactly that. There was no real shot for Marchitelli there. Reiki immediately right up in his face. He does the right play, not trying to overextend it.
I want you to tell me, if you're in Reiki's steps position, which I'm sure you've been, you're rushing a quarterback, you know you've got him. He doesn't see you yet. He's looking to his right. He doesn't see anything. He turns to his left. He sees you. His eyes go wide. Is that the best feeling?
It is, assuming you can still touch them and get credit for the sack.
Assuming you've got it.
Exactly that. You don't want them to go down on their own and you not get credit for the sack, for example. So I'll definitely say so.
Hunter Sands gets it away. Bit of a bad snap, but a great punt. Rolls, bounces end over end. It bounced just out of bounds at the 24 and then came back into play. So it is out of bounds at the 24. Still a very good punt by Hunter Sands.
If the football fields were normally 55 yards wide, that would have been one of the best punts I've ever seen. That
Canadian football.
Oh, man, we should let Hunter know. We'll refer him to number 61 on the Falcons, Christopher Emsley, who comes from Canada, is actually a huge Blue Jays fan. We know what he'll be watching tonight.
Game 7 of the World Series. Shohei Ohtani starting on 3 days rest.
Oh, boy, getting me excited.
It's going to be fun. We're going to have fun tonight, but we're still going to have fun here for the remaining 9:09 to play in this game. Bridgewater leads 31-0, and they will call off the Dogs a little bit. With Seamus Whiting, the sophomore, taking over at quarterback. Handoff goes up the middle, bouncing out to the left side is Darren Duclas. Duclas, the sophomore from Waltham, getting the carry.
Yeah, Whiting got a decent amount of reps in the beginning. We've seen them go. We've seen him go away from Whiting after the 2 interceptions against the Worcester State, and I think putting him in here is a sign of where we're at in this game. 31-0. You have the ball. You're gonna run it out. Get your backup some reps here.
Whiting over 600 yards on the season, 5 touchdowns, 6 picks. Second down handoff. Up the middle, good second and third effort there. Just plunging forward for Bridgewater State. That was Duclas again.
You see Coach Sullivan, the defensive coordinator, pulling a lot of their subs from the Falcons defense here. A lot of guys are going to be getting some reps.
We go a little bit deeper in the depth chart. Third down and 2 coming up. But first, Fitchburg State will call their first timeout of the half.
Fitchburg.
Which gives us the opportunity to thank for the first time our tremendous crew helping us out here on FATV. Our director today is Robin Como. Travis Falk providing the audio graphics and his technical expertise as always. Todd Govan is our replay operator, and our cameras are Evan Schackenbach, Bradley Bedard, Brooke Taylor, and Alex Fabrile. Our thanks to all of them, as well as Nate Glennie and Daniel Bolak. They were both here pre-game. Daniel, as we mentioned, provided the stat sheets that we've been using, printed the rosters, made up our graphics package. Nate brought breakfast, I know that.
I'm not complaining about that.
My path with Nate crossed very briefly, so I don't know what else he did, but I'm sure it was helpful. Third down and 2 coming up for Bridgewater State. This game pretty well in hand for them. They look to run out as much of this clock as they can. Whiting takes the snap, handoff to the right side. Ball is loose, knocked backward. A Bear tried to pick it up and run with it instead of falling on it. Fitchburg State is saying they have it, and they do. Falcons recover at the Bears' 27-yard line. So Cam, you mentioned a couple of times earlier in this game, the ball came loose, Fitchburg State unable to capitalize on it, and now they do.
Yeah, as you get down to the second string guys, maybe they're not as tight with the ball, but Jan Vallis continuing his very impressive defensive season with a forced fumble, screaming, and boom, Jan Vallis. A pick today, a forced fumble today after his touchdown last week against Anna Maria. For a guy his stature, talk about heart over height. He's one of my favorite guys to talk to all the time. Great play by Jan Vowles there.
That time Vowles just lowered his helmet, delivered a blow right to the football, knocked it loose, caused the fumble, led to the turnover. 1st and 10 for the Falcons. Marchitelli looking long to the end zone, one-on-one, incomplete, but there's the flag. That'll be defensive pass interference, you got to believe.
There is a flag.
Oh, 100%. And the question is, was it in the end zone? Where it's going to be interested to see what the officials talk about here. I thought it was in the end zone.
It was definitely in the end zone. Remember, it is college, so it's not going to. They're not going to spot it at the 1. Would still be a 15-yard penalty. But we'll take another look. And just going down to the turf was Tyree Davis. He dragged his receiver with him.
Pass interference. 13 on the defense. 15 yards from the previous spot. Down is 1.
So they call that on Elijah Brown, which sure is the name of a dude who was on defense. I don't think it's the correct call. I think it was Tyree Davis there, but
I think I agree with you, John.
13 looks like 18. A lot. Fonts are weird.
Oh, exactly. And hey,
The
good play by
officials don't
Falcons.
have the benefit of replay.
Yeah, they're still conferring here. We're hearing in the press box. They're talking about where exactly this ball is going to be spotted.
Well, if it was on the 28-yard line,
15-yard penalty. Maybe isn't it half the distance?
it
though,
should
at
be
that
half the
point?
distance, though, because 15 yards is more than half, I would think. But it's a difference of a yard. They're going to say, let's play some ball. 1st down handoff goes to Oquendo. Good blocking along the right side. He bounces to the left. He's across the 10. They'll mark him down at the 6-yard line. It's a gain of about 8. It'll be 2nd and 2 coming up for Fitchburg. There's a flag down. Thought there was, but they pick it up. Falcons come back to the line. Call it 2nd and 3 after they spot him back a yard after the 7-yard gain for Oquendo. A little bit of motion and a flag at the snap. Marchitelli throws for the end zone. Provisionally, that's a touchdown.
Yeah, must have been an offsides to let the play run. PJ Norton with the grab there.
The fact that the officials let it go indicates, to your point, Cam, it's probably offside, but we'll take another look.
Yeah, you'll see heads up by Rocky here, immediately receiving the snap, knowing go end zone. Boom.
There was the snap and the motion, and basically 4 players moved. Fortunately, 2 of them for the Falcons were Rocky Marchitelli and PJ
Neutral
Norton.
zone infraction. Defense. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is touchdown.
So Rocky Marchitelli finds PJ Norton. We'll take another look for Marchitelli. It's his 8th touchdown of the season. Norton his 3rd touchdown catch.
Falcons seem like they're going to go for 2 here. Obviously, with just 7:09 left, this probably won't rain too significant, but I like the idea here. And maybe, John, we can see an octopus.
It's entirely possible. Marchitelli will throw to the right. Pass is broken up and falls incomplete. I guess the thinking, like if you do the extreme math, you get 3 touchdowns and 3 2-point conversions, that's 24. And then from there, a touchdown and an extra point. It's a way to keep it a 4-score game rather than a 3-score game. The reason you would go for, or a 5-score game?
In theory, if you're doing the long-term math, you're going to need 3 2-point conversions. So if you want to go for one here, I'm all for it in light of how unlikely it probably is. The problem is, now that you didn't convert it, this still is a 4-possession game.
Yeah, it's
down
25. Now it's a 4-score game. And
so
it was a long shot.
it certainly
It's
was.
a slightly longer shot now, but, you know, it was still a long shot.
Yeah, but it's great to see Rocky get on the board there. We all know Marchitelli has not started after dealing with the injury sustained against Mass Maritime. We've seen a lot of Catterton, and while he has looked uncomfortable, he's certainly going to derive positives from this game. What I will give Marchitelli credit for, though, he's come back from 2 broken femurs sustained during football. We know about the UMass Dartmouth injury sustained in 2023, but actually during his high school years, he broke his other femur. No one's ever, I think, called him Rod Leg Rocky.
You're the first
Maybe
that I've
that's
heard.
me. But just talk about sheer perseverance and the want to be here for the team. I have so much respect for number 5 on the Falcons.
Listen, if I ever break my femur broadcasting, you'll never hear my voice again. I don't know. Incredible respect for Rocky Marchitelli. Fitchburg State will try the onside kick. The ball is loose on the near sideline. Bridgewater couldn't pick it up. It goes out of bounds.
So close, John. That's what the flag's going to be for. It's for the kick going out of bounds. But they had a great attempt at this, and it would have became a little less unlikely if they got that.
It's almost like Bridgewater wasn't fully prepared for the onside, even though Fitchburg pretty clearly indicated that they were going for it.
Yeah, it was very interesting seeing all of Bridgewater's return team from at least the back half forward making a push upwards as Hunter Sands was going to kick that ball, almost forgetting that, hey, it's onside time.
You saw Izzy Abraham come out of that a little frustrated at the kick going out of bounds. The officials are now conferring among themselves. I think if it was touched and then goes out of bounds, it's not a penalty, and that may be part of the discussion here.
It has to be touched by a white.
Was it touched by a bear before it went out of bounds? I think the indication is going to be yes.
The ball was touched by the receiving team. The ball went out of bounds. There is no illegal touch. It's going to be first down.
All right, so they pick up the flag. There's no illegal touching. There's no illegal procedure for the kick going out of bounds because it was touched by a bear beforehand.
Exactly that, and although it's pretty minor at the end of the day, it is one less penalty that'll go on the Fitchburg State statistics.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Listen, when you're the most penalized team in all of Division III football, you'll take every picked up flag you can get. Bridgewater back out, 1st and 10 at the Falcon 49. Handoff on the jet sweep goes to James Marden, first time we've called his name today, senior from Dartmouth. Gets a yard or 2. See, they'll spot him back right at the original line of scrimmage. No gain, 2nd and 10. Bears went to that fake jet sweep and then either run or play action pass a number of times. They finally have done the jet sweep a couple of times with no real success. But hey, they're winning.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, a lot of these plays are actually getting things on film for your last 2 games.
2nd and 10 for the Bears. Handoff up the middle, big hole into Falcon territory, picking up a first down and a bit more is Ian Wilson, the freshman from Wesley Chapel, Florida.
Wilson made a very nice cut on that play, as you're going to see on the replay right here. Right, left, get by, go get the first down. And in these situations where you're not getting many reps during, we'll say, the first 3 quarters, these reps are extremely important for the guys on the field.
Yeah, for your younger guys, your backups, your third stringers, your freshman running backs like Wilson, if you can show, hey, this is what I can do with the ball, that might lead to more touches, not just next season, but this season. 1st and 10 for the Bears. It's Wilson again into the second level. Spins out of a hit at the 30, gets forward to about the 26. They'll give him 8. It'll be 2nd and 2.
To your point, John, with another solid Wilson run, is these are huge plays as we head towards spring ball. Every college football player knows these next 2 weeks are going to go. The seniors will go off in the sunset, and football does come back. You will be on the field come March and April, and everyone's fighting for a position once again.
2nd down 2 for the Bears as they continue to run out the remaining time. Wilson again, a huge hole up the middle. He's not even touched until he's in the second level. Brought down at the 16 after another big gain and a Bridgewater State first down. Just tremendous blocking this time. Really the left guard just barreling through the defender in front of him. Give a lot of credit on that last play to Anthony Semin. sophomore from Providence,
Fitchburg 18.
really opening up that hole for Wilson.
Exactly that, and with the run game being so versatile, the entire Bridgewater State O-line does deserve a lot of credit.
First down handoff to the right. I believe that's Mikhail Coulange-Blaise with the carry, as we get as deep as I've seen any team go in a depth chart.
Well, I think
Short
this
gain
is a
on the
good
play.
opportunity to thank our friend Joey Nasso for helping us with the pronunciation guide once again.
Not the first time today I've said Mikhail Coulange-Blaise. Gain of 1 for him. It'll be second down and 9. Motion to the far side. Coulange-Blaise gets the carry again. Doesn't like the left. He'll cut it back to the middle. Gets to about the 16-yard line.
Short gain.
So as another third down for the Bridgewater is in front of us, I do think back to my conversation with Coach Charles, the wide receiver coach for the Falcons, and he was so adamant about this not necessarily just being a stereotypical part of a rebuild year. Every loss up to this point for the Falcons has been winnable, and we know that this one you might not look back and be like, oh, we just had it, but offensive production really could have changed this game.
It really would have made a difference for Fitchburg State. You know, a lot of what I think Bridgewater's able to do here in the second half as Coulange-Blaise gets another carry on third down, breaks out of a tackle, spinning for the end zone. He is in. Touchdown, Bridgewater State. Mikhail Coulange-Blaise with tremendous effort. You see the entire Bridgewater State sideline coming out to congratulate him.
The Bridgewater rushing touchdown.
They appreciate the effort. A tremendous run for him.
Yeah, Coulange-Blaise smelled the end zone here, fought through Zaire McKnight, and we've been talking about it. You're not on the field much. This touchdown is certainly really impactful, meaningful for him.
Looked like he was stood up. He continued to fight, continued to churn forward, spun his way into the end zone. Tremendous effort. Mikhail Coulange-Blaise is listed as a tight end on the roster for Bridgewater State.
Funny enough, that's not necessarily the most surprising thing we've seen on Elliott Field. The great Matagide was a tight end running the ball for the Fitchburg State Falcons for many years.
Was a tight end. We've seen it before. It's very impressive run by him. But getting back to the point we were making about the offensive struggles of Fitchburg State, I think a lot of what Bridgewater State has been able to do, especially on this last drive, Cam, is they're just running out the clock. They're running it up the middle, and the Falcon defense, fatigue has to be a factor. They've been on the field so long. The offense really has not at all ever been able to sustain a long drive and give the defense really a chance to catch its breath, a chance to regain energy. It's just been, 3 plays punt, 3 plays punt, 3 plays punt. Oh, Rocky threw a pick. Oh, the other guy threw a pick. It's just been very frustrating for the defense, I would imagine. And especially at this stage of the game, it's just got to be tired.
Unfortunately, that is all very true. And you have some of your second string defensive linemen who some guys are fatigued on the field, some guys haven't seen many reps. And the mix of that just kind of, it's just, I would almost say disheartening, discouraging at this point when you're trying to stop it from becoming a 38-point game. The defense has played well beyond what a defense that gives up 38 points would be, I would say.
Yeah, it's been, the Falcon defense will be unjustly done by the final scoreline, whatever it winds up being, I think. I think that's fair to say.
I certainly agree.
Let's go, Falcons!
Bears will kick it away. Falcon offense will get at least one more chance to put some more points on the board here. This is another low bouncing kick, taken in at about the 15-yard line by Easy McKnight. Easy's got a hole. He's into Bridgewater State territory, and he's run out of bounds at about the 40-yard line.
Easy McKnight.
Easy McKnight will not go gently just yet.
And they squib kicked it, John, yet it still found its way to Easy. And Easy and McKnight is going to have at least one return past the 50 before the day is over.
And Easy is not happy with himself, actually, as he comes out of this. He goes downfield. He loses his own footing. The turf monster gets that tackle as much as anyone on Bridgewater State. Easy McKnight not terribly happy with that, but still a great return for him. sets Fitchburg State up into Bear territory where they will take over. Rocky Marchitelli still in at quarterback for Fitchburg State. He'll throw over the middle for KB. He's got a first down catch. Emilio KB brought down at the 26-yard line. Tackle made by Michael Reddy.
Yeah, we obviously don't know who's going to go next week for the Falcons against Plymouth State, but if it is Marchitelli for these last 2 games, this drive could be really, really important for building some momentum as they go against what is a really tough Plymouth State Panther defense.
First and 10 for the Falcons. 2 receivers in the area as Marchitelli goes deep. Pass was incomplete, overthrown for both of them. Cam, you mentioned it, next week Fitchburg State will be traveling.
Gomez, the intended receiver, second and
I just saw this. There it is. Next week they'll be at Plymouth State. Panthers 6-1 on the season. They look to be the class of the MASCAC, at least thus far.
It's really interesting how wide open the MASCAC is after being dominated by UMass Dartmouth for the last 3 years, but Framingham for so many years before. It's certainly open.
Marchitelli on second down, looking long to the end zone. Jump ball goes up. Did he come down with it? Yes! Touchdown Falcons! Emilio KB waited for it and finally went up and brought the pass down.
Talk about focus and talk about sheer making a play. Emilio KB, go up and get it, young man. Let's see on the replay, Rocky saw him from afar, sets his feet, the deep ball. That's a pretty thing. That's picture worthy.
And for KB, that had to be the longest 5 seconds of his life. He's wide open in the end zone. Marchitelli sees him, and he's just got to wait for the ball to come down. Falcons now will go for 2. Marchitelli to the near side. Incomplete, just off the hands of Emilio KB. He got a fingertip on it, couldn't tip it back to himself. The octopus is denied. 38-12 is the score.
John, you can see me right now. I'm heartbroken. I thought we were going to have an octopus right here as Rocky almost gets 8 straight points right to KB, just out of his reach. Man, that would have been a fun little niche point of this game as if we had an octopus.
And Cam, I think on these last 2 drives for the Falcons, I think Rocky Marchitelli has earned his starting job back almost. Like we saw him, obviously there's the question of injury. We don't know his full and complete status. The fact that he's out there now,
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, 94 on Bridgewater. It'll be a penalty be assessed on the kick.
So we have a personal foul after the play against Elias Edris. So that'll be 15 yards handed to the Falcons for the kickoff. The fact that Rocky Marchitelli is out there certainly indicates that the Falcons are willing to let him go out there and play. I don't know if this was a chance for him to earn his job back, if they just wanted to see how he looked and see if he's okay. I think on these last 2 drives, he's shown he has the arm talent, if nothing else. He's able to get more zip on the ball. He's quicker, more decisive, I think, with his throws than what we've seen from Colby Catterton. Catterton did not play horribly today, but I think if Rocky Marchitelli is healthy, he's the better choice for the Falcons at quarterback.
Yeah, after seeing those last few drives, it's a level of comfortability we see with Marchitelli that we maybe didn't see previously, so I've got to envision that Rocky has earned that position back going into Plymouth. They were still a little concerned with the injury, which is why I believe we didn't see him to start. But yeah, his pocket presence is another factor that I think he's certainly developed greatly since his freshman year. We kind of saw it on that last drive, his ability to know when to make a play or when to get out of a play.
Hunter Sands will boot it away, sort of a short, poochy, half-on-sides thing, taken in by the Bears at their own 16 and spinning forward to the 25-yard line, where we will stop the clock with 2:07 to play. Bridgewater State pretty much going to be able to run this out. I think they technically need 1 first down in order to do it, but a few slow developing runs and some generous work by our clock operators, and we can get out of here in 3 plays.
Exactly that, John. We'll have to see, as we've talked about with all the second string guys who maybe aren't getting a ton of reps, if Bridgewater opts to actually run a couple run plays throughout this last 2 minutes, 7 seconds here.
I don't think they'll just go victory formation. mostly because it's hard to burn the 9 or so seconds they would need to burn on those 3 plays?
Yeah, exactly that.
Just hand it up the gut a few times, see how we do.
Problem is, when we start speculating up here, then the complete opposite happens. So.
Yeah, yeah. Bears will come out in the shotgun, as has been their formation all day. I believe this is Everson Quisangovac. No, excuse me, it is Jack Renaud at quarterback. So Renaud, the junior from Waltham, gets the opportunity to run a few series. We get a handoff up the gut.
2-minute timeout. 2-minute
And
timeout.
I forgot to mention, we do have the 2-minute timeout.
Timeout, not a
Not
warning.
warning.
Not a warning.
Certainly
No,
not
no,
a
no.
warning. We did a whole bit out of this last year. You weren't aware of it because you were busy playing football. It's not a warning. We don't want to scare anyone.
I'm glad. It's news to me.
So the 2-minute timeout does mean that Bridgewater will need to get one more first down, but we want to thank again our tremendous FATV crew, not able to go up in the scissor lift today because of the wind, but still providing tremendous work. We want to thank everybody who helped out. Again, our director today is Robin Como, Travis Falk on audio and graphics, Evan Schockenbach, Bradley Bedard, Brooke Taylor, and Alex Fabrile on camera, Todd Govan running the replays for us. Just tremendous work, as always, by the crew here at FATV. We are very proud of the work that we do. We like to think we do a good job bringing you a football game, even if the result on the field is lacking for the folks in Fitchburg. Maybe. 2nd down and 2, handoff up the middle goes, I would say nowhere, but that's far too generous. It goes backwards. That time, Cam, the Falcons got the penetration they've been looking for, wrapped the ball carrier up in the backfield.
Yeah, it seems like a big tackle for a loss there by Jules Cabrera Gonzalez. You're certainly going to take it. At the end of the day, these stats all look the same at the end of the year. So
A TFL is a TFL, even if it comes with 135 to play in a 26-point game.
I agree with you on that.
Let's go, Fitchburg! Come on,
Is that something that can be a motivating factor for you on the defensive side if you're just kind of playing out the last couple minutes of a game?
I truthfully would say so, as it seems like the ball carrier got tripped up there. But it is motivating. It goes back to what motivates you, regardless of the score, regardless of the circumstances. What is it that's going to give you 100% effort and a 100% attitude? If it is chasing the tackle for a loss for your stats, and if you get to your 100% effort, then you're going to do whatever you have to.
Yeah. There is no I in team. There is, however, also no I in tackle for loss.
That is true.
So does it really matter what you're playing for?
No. As Kobe Bryant said, there's no I in team, but there's an M-E in that.
I suppose that's fair. Falcon defense forces a punt. Bridgewater State obliges. Easy McKnight will try to make something happen on the return from the 45-yard line. He's back into Bear territory. Good return for Easy at the 30. He's spun down at the 20-yard line. A helmet goes rolling. But Easy McKnight is going to play every second of this football game, whether you like it or not. At the end of that play, Cam, he's all fired up. He's throwing the ball back to the umpire. I saw Easy immediately realize, oh my goodness, he might think I'm mad at him. He went running over to the umpire as if to say, no, sir, I'm not mad at you. I'm just excited. Please don't throw a flag, sir.
Yeah, I mean, it is worth noting, if you do happen, not that I ever thought this was happening, but if you were to get thrown out, you miss the next half of the next game.
That's right.
So it is it's a good
You don't
thing
want to get
Easy-
thrown out here.
Exactly that. It's a good thing Easy is covering his bases there.
Were you ever in a situation like that where you did something and you thought, oh, this ref thinks I'm mad at him, but actually I was mad at something else and now I got to deal with that?
That's actually a really good question. I feel like oftentimes I was the one making sure our guys weren't too mad or to the point where getting yellow flags thrown for being mad.
Okay.
But it does happen. The refs, you got to kind of play. You got to kind of play to what they're believing too.
Fitchburg State with 23 seconds left to work with. They are legally entitled to do whatever they want with it, so Rocky Marchitelli will throw over the middle for P.J. Norton. Catch is made, but he's dragged down at the 2-yard line. Falcons will call timeout. Hey, why not? Get a chance to practice. Here's your 23-second drill.
Exactly that. And Rocky has had less reps. It's a great thing that he's able to have a couple more plays, even regardless of the time. The Falcons, it looks like they get stymied on the goal line there. 5 seconds left.
Rashawn Stewart got the carry. Fitchburg State did not actually take their timeout. And I think they did not take one at the end of that play either. The clock hits zeros. We'll see if the officials insist on putting more time back on, but I think at a certain point, common sense needs to prevail.
At the end of the day, it's just counting stats, kind of like we were talking about with the TFLs. This game is well over.
Please put 1 second on the game clock. 1 second on the game clock.
And they will indeed put 1 second back on the clock. So the Falcons will have one more chance for one more score. Because why not?
Why not? Exactly.
It's not like football's an inherently dangerous game and any play could be any person's last or anything. It's fine. It's totally fine.
Well, when you put it like that,
Fitchburg.
Listen, bud, it's been a blowout for a long time.
Hey, they're just getting the most out of our volunteer time here.
This is true. This is true. This is valuable educational experience. So with 1 second left, the Falcons will have one shot from the 1 yard line. Marchitelli's got Stewart to his left.
2nd and goal.
3 receivers and a tight end on the field for him as well. Marchitelli takes the shotgun snap under pressure immediately, rolls to his left, looking to his left. He's going to take it in himself. Touchdown, Falcons. Rocky Marchitelli, his 4th touchdown rush of the season, makes it 38-18 as the clock hits zeros.
Yeah, we talked about his pocket presence, and there it was right there, getting one more score on the board. It's very nice to see Rocky hopefully coming back to form, but at the end of the day, he and a better offensive performance was truly needed if this was going to be a close contest from the Falcons here.
Teams shake hands at midfield. The final score, again, 38-18, and a scoreline, Cam, that I think is weirdly unfair to both sides in that the Falcon defense didn't play like a defense that gave up 38 points, and for the first, 57 minutes of this game, the Falcon offense really didn't play like an offense that would score 18 points.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
It is really interesting. You see a 20-point margin of victory for Bridgewater. If you were to tell me without seeing the scoring plays, I'd think the score is 22-0.
Yeah.
Not 38-18.
Exactly. Bridgewater winning this game by 20 feels right. Mm-hmm. The fact that it's 38-18 instead of maybe like 24-3 feels a little weird. But, football's a weird game
Football,
sometimes.
something I love. Every time you're watching, you're seeing something new.
We saw plenty of tremendous plays, and I think, again, back to the discussion we were having about going forward for Fitchburg State, I think Rocky Marchitelli's the guy.
I would agree.
At least for now at quarterback. You don't want to play just the seniority argument, but if it's a tiebreaker, he's a junior. He's a junior, Catterton's a freshman. I think Marchitelli just played better, honestly.
I would agree. The games that Marchitelli has under his belt is definitely a big factor in his just ability to read the defense, read plays. We saw in the final play, run when needed, throw away when needed. Catterton's last interception there was a tough one, going to the going to the boundary, throwing a crossbody. It's sort of the young tendencies we're seeing. I'm sure he'll work them out as we go along this season and future seasons.
Absolutely. Fitchburg State falls to 3-5 on the season. They are 2-5 in the MASCAC. Next week they will travel to Plymouth State to take on the Panthers. And 2 weeks from today, folks, is Senior Day here at Elliott Field, the final home game, the final game of the season for Fitchburg State. Westfield State comes to Elliott Field. That will be a tremendous day.
That one certainly will. And everyone related, somewhat tied into the Falcons program, wants to see a victory on Senior Days. This group of seniors, the first time they ever played Bridgewater, I hate to bring it up, it was 82-0 was the final. It was one of the worst days to be a Falcon way back in 2022. You obviously don't get the victory that you hope for here, but these seniors have so much to be proud of, not only for how hard they fight, but the respect they've developed in the MASCAC amongst the community. This is a legitimate program. As Coach Charles said, this is a team that is not just rebuilding, it's a team that has fought their butts off to make a run for the MASCAC, and they have 2 more games to cement their place in this league in this season.
It's definitely a team that is pointed in the right direction, and we will see if they're able to pick up a victory again in 2 weeks' time on Senior Day against Westfield State. But for now, for all the folks here at FATV, for my partner today, Cam Manette, I'm John Gugerty saying, folks, thank you so very much for watching. We will see you next time right here on FATV.